Good evening, and we are live in Troy, Alabama, as Escambia Academy goes on the road to face Pike Liberal Arts Academy and Escambia Academy football, first game of the season. And we got our very own Ricky Dean over there ready to call the game, and he's going to give us a little pregame action. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Ricky. You there?
Yes, sir. I'm here, Joe. Thank you so much for what you're doing for us back there at the station. We're glad to be here. Man, this is awesome. We are in Troy, Alabama. Pike Liberal Arts is the opponent as we get set to kick off the first game of the year. It's the Escambia Academy Cougars taking on the Pike Patriots, I believe is what they are called. Yes. The Pike Liberal Arts Patriots. And I tell you, it's been a long time since last November. You know, last November, Rick, want to introduce my broadcast partner, Rick Burkett, as we get started here this evening. Rick, man, last year we were this close. This close. I mean, a couple of penalties, and we'll hear Coach Fountain talking about it here in a little bit on our interview. But, man, it was an awesome – at the Crampton Bowl last year in November, it was a beautiful place to be and just incredible football all year long. And as good as the Cougars were last year, and they had an incredible football team, they end up losing 2 games during the year, and one of them was to Glenwood, who is next week's opponent, by the way, and the other one was to the eventual state champion that was in Chambers Academy in the state championship game. To lose only 2 games, this was a really good football team last year. Yeah. But guess what? I think they're better.
Yeah, I think they are better. They bring back most of their players. They bring back, of course, Landon Sims and Bubba Nettles, who are easily going to be all-state football players, and should be a really good season for them this year.
I tell you one thing, I'm fired up about it, looking forward to it. The Cougars are primed and ready to go. I've seen them practice a couple of times, been out there, been around the kids. They're just good kids. You know, and the thing that we had an opportunity last night with Unity Baptist Church. We went out and fed the kids last night, gave them a little spaghetti meal. That's something that we're doing through the church all year long. And man, just being around them. I mean, these are really good kids. You want to see these kids succeed, and there's no reason why they cannot, because, like I say, as good as they were last year to go 10-2, I really feel like that this Cougar team is going to be better, and they're loaded for bear.
They really are. They are good kids. They practice hard in the off season and trained hard, and they knew that they were that close to bringing home their 3rd state championship last year, and they were just that close. And picked up a few extra players from around that's going to really help them out on the offensive and defensive lines, and so should be a really good team.
They're really going to be big up front. You know, a couple of the kids that they picked up, and you'll hear us talking about them as we go along. I mean, these kids are big. EA is going to be big up front, and when you've got a running game, like you know, You've got Landon Sims at quarterback running things. He's the quarterback of the offense. Then you got Bubba Nettles, and then you've got some of the other kids that are out there, Christian Crook, you know, just to name a few. I mean, when you add up front kids that can block and make it easier treading for these excellent ground game running backs that the Cougars already had. Right. I mean, things can only get better, and they're going to be big up front. And as Coach will say here in just a few minutes, this bunch over here, they're pretty good size too.
Well, they are. They're the defending 3A state champions from last year. They've won 3 state championships. They were really good last year. They also lost the one game to Glenwood and then got revenge on them later in the playoffs and kind of blew them out. And they also return a good bit. They return 6 on offense and 6 on defense. They did lose the coach's son, who's now at Florida State.
He's playing baseball,
yes. Baseball, right. So they got a new quarterback, but they're still a good football team.
Well, I tell you what, we've done enough talking here to get things started. We're fixing to go, and I'll let you hear what Coach Hugh Fountain had to say. We want to thank our sponsors as we move forward here on WBZR. We're at 105.9 FM, and something a little different that we're doing this year, which is really awesome, is we're actually coupling our radio broadcast with the video broadcast of the ball game. So if you're listening via radio and you hear us, then that's great. If you're on on the video portion of the broadcast, and certainly that's great too. We appreciate all you folks joining us for the broadcast. Hope we do a good job for you. That's what we're here to do, is we're just here to describe the game to you and to get things going and make it exciting, and that's what we're here to do. We're excited. I'll tell you one thing, I'm fired up. I just told Rick after coming up here and getting down there on the field, and you can smell the cut grass and all the sweat and everything that's going on, it makes you want to hit somebody, you know. I mean,
like in the song Boys of Fall.
That's right. Yeah, we were talking about that on the way here. Want to thank our sponsors radio-wise today. Our sponsors are Pioneer Mobile Homes, also Juniper Creek Lumber, Southern Social Boutique, the Larry White Insurance Agency, Diamond Gasoline, Southern Real Estate, Atmore Auto Parts, and Johnson Ford in Atmore. So without further ado, let's see what Coach Hugh Fountain thinks about this game as we get started. It's opening night of high school football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore. Here's Coach Hugh Fountain. Standing here on the sideline in Troy, Alabama with Coach Hugh Fountain and the Escambia Academy Cougars as we get set for a big one tonight. First game of the year, but it already has that kind of attitude, Coach, that atmosphere. I mean, this is what you play for. You want to play the best, and y'all are coming out of the gate right off the bat to play the #1 ranked team in AISA in the state. Of course, the Cougars #3, but you're going to get a test tonight. How y'all feeling going into this game tonight?
Well, you know, first game of the season, you never know a whole lot about people. All you know is what they did last year, so you don't know in the private schools who they picked up, what different guy they have, or anything of that nature. And we know they picked up some players, so we're not, you know, we don't really know that. Our #1 thing this time of the year is to take care of ourselves, try to get ourselves better from our little scrimmage we had last week, see if we can improve on things offensively and defensively. And this will be our first night really with kicking game. We kicked a little bit last week, but none of it was live. And live is what changes the kicking game, you know, making it live. So we know they're going to be a tough opponent. We know they're going to be a good football team. It's just going to be what we're looking for here tonight is to play hard, to get after it, to hustle on every play, not to turn the ball over, and then just to get out here and play football and see how tough we are.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll tell you one thing. You got a good-looking group of kids. Of course, you know, you lost a few kids last year coming out of the state championship run that we had last year. Losing right there at the end, man, it was heartbreaking. And now you've got some kids that are coming back. You've picked up a few that are going to help you, obviously. And you know, we lost a few through graduation, but you got some key parts back. You got your quarterback back. You got Bubba Nettles back, and I tell you, those are two big key components right there. With what you've got around them, you ought to be a good football team.
Well, we're obviously glad to have Bubba and Red back. I mean, because they've been good players for us, and you might as well say 98% of your offense went through those two guys last year, and we returned most of our offensive line, you know. So with those guys returning, and with those two skill people, now we have other good skill people also. You know, Christian Crooks played a lot of minutes for us through the years. Malachi's played a lot of minutes. Jacob Lee's looked good in the preseason, as well as Brian Brown. And then Brady Howell and JJ, of course, have looked good for us playing the little slot back and the fullback. So we're excited about where we could be on offense as the year goes on. It's just going to be a matter of us cutting out the penalties and playing mistake-free football. And, of course, not turning the ball over, you know.
Right. Now, defensively, how you guys planning on? I know this bunch is going to be a good bunch as well. Of course, not knowing they lost a key component of theirs also. Their quarterback graduated, and he's playing baseball at Florida State right now. So they're having to rebuild a little bit offensively and all. What have you seen on film, or what do you expect that you guys are going to have to battle tonight?
Well, what we're looking at probably in this game is that they're going to probably hit the ground running, because they picked up a couple of running backs from Pike County that we know of, and all talented players for sure when you look at them on film. So we're looking, and they're big up front. So therefore, we're looking for it to be kind of a running game, even though I think their offense coordinator, actually, I don't know him well, but I do know Dee Brundage. Obviously, I know Mario, the head coach, and Cornelius Griffin, the defense coordinator. And I know him a little bit through the years. Cornelius was an awesome high school football player and played at the University of Alabama. So we know a little bit about them. So we figure they're going to want to play physical football. We know that. So what we're hoping here is that we can just match them physically, play hard and get after it, and you know, then see what kind of team we got.
You know, it was good to hear in the couple of times that I've been out watched y'all practice, you know, heard some conversation with the kids and everything. You know, one of the things that we talked about was last year, I mean, you lose a state championship game last year by 2 points, and you had several touchdowns called back from mental mistakes, penalties, and stuff like that. You can tell that you coaches have done your job as far as instilling that into these kids' mind. They're thinking about it right now, and so I think that you guys are going to come out and be a lot better in the middle part of the game where you don't make those mental mistakes. Do you feel the same way?
Well, we stressed it, of course, because we had 3 touchdowns called back in the second quarter and one that we had to drop pass on. So 4 touchdowns in the second quarter obviously had some factor in losing the state championship game. And those 3 penalties were all really useless, undisciplined penalties, really, when you get down to it. Not what you call necessarily hustling penalties as much as they were just penalties that killed us at a bad time in the game. And we didn't cry about it and fuss about it. We just said, hey, look, let's go back and try to change our MO a little bit. Let's go back and look at what we're doing wrong so that we can have a very good football team and we can play in games like this and have an opportunity to win the game, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, Coach, anything you want to talk about as far as going into this ball game about how we may do things differently this year? I know you're fired up and ready to go. I can tell that all these kids are fired up and ready to go.
No, I really think, Ricky, we're really fired up about getting the season started.
Right.
We got a couple of tough games here because we got to go to Glenwood next week, and then we got Patrician at home the next. Patrician was one of the best 2A teams last year. So we got a tough stretch here the first 3 games.
Right.
So we got to try to, you know, of course, injuries can play a huge key in the whole season.
Right.
But we just got to continue to try to get better. I do want to thank, you know, the athletic club for all they do to support us. Obviously, riding those charter buses, eating good food, and I appreciate, you know, the church, Unity Baptist down the road. They fed us yesterday. Appreciate that very much. And the families always feed us every Tuesday night at Escambia Academy. Every Tuesday night we have a team meal, and it's a great time for everybody to spend time together and away from the football field. And we just appreciate all that they do for us. And hopefully we can produce a good season for them. That's what we're hoping to do.
Yes, sir. Well, there's no doubt about it. I tell you, last year, I said this yesterday when we were talking during the meal and all, it was awesome last year being a part of this bunch, seeing y'all being a part. I just love being around it, getting this started tonight. Big, exciting game. Number 3 against number 1 right here. This is what it's all about. I think Glenwood's
number 2. That's coming up next week.
Number 2. That's next week.
Don't get no smaller. That's right.
So I mean, we gonna hit the ground running right here, and hopefully by the time we get back to the house, we're going to be 2-0 and moving on. But we got to take them one game at a time. So let's start with this one tonight.
I agree with you 100%.
And get after this bunch.
I agree, Rick. That's what we're going to do. Start tonight.
All right. Good luck to you,
okay,
Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks for talking
Appreciate
to us.
It. Yes, sir. Thank you.
And welcome back as we thank Coach Hugh Fountain for being so, man. Coach Coach loves to talk, and he's good at it, and he is just a very knowledgeable person about the game of football. He's coached it for so long, and coming through the years. To be honest with you, Escambia Academy is really fortunate to have a coach. The quality of Coach Hugh Fountain. Also, I mean, the other coaches, Coach Sims and some of the coaches that will go unnamed tonight because I don't even know who they are, they may be actually paid coaches or they could even be volunteers that are out there. You know, this Cougar team has such a following and has such a following locally there in the community. It's just incredible. And, Rick, you know, that's what builds a winning program is you've got to have people that are willing to work for your kids. The kids get out here on Friday night and play, but it's the things that the community does for these kids during the week and everything else that they can't do for themselves. But the ultimate goal is to make them better, number one, to make them better people as we turn them out into the world after high school because, you know, high school football is an incredible game to watch. We've been watching it a long time. But to have the community involvement with these kids on the football field, with these cheerleaders down here, you know, it takes a lot of work to take one of the – I mean, you're talking about 55 kids that have been loaded on a bus and driven for 2 hours to play a football game on a Friday night. That's a lot of work.
Well, you're exactly right, and it's a team effort. And when I say team, it is the volunteer coaches, it's the moms, it's the parents, it's the boosters, it's Unity Church feeding them. All that goes together to make a good team, and it makes you not want to let each other down when the going gets tough. a lot of these kids have grown up together, and it's sort of always been that way at EA. Everybody around there has been a close-knit community, and it shows. It shows on the football field.
It does, and I tell you, I'm excited about this game coming up. You know, this is number 3, the Escambia Academy Cougars, number 3 in the state right now in the preseason rankings, against number 1, Pike Liberal Arts. EA is 2A. Pike Liberal Arts is 3A, so it's not going to mean anything as far as getting to the playoffs and all that kind of thing, but this is going to be a pride factor right here.
And when they're doing the schedule, that's the way Coach likes to do it. The iron sharpens iron. He wants to play tough opponents, especially early. And of course, like he said in the interview, he's got 3 tough ones to start the season off with. One thing to note is reading through some of the literature is Pike used to be Pike Academy. Pike Liberal Arts has never beaten Escambia Academy. Escambia Academy is 7-0 against them. So,
right.
So hopefully we can be 8-0 after tonight.
That's exactly right. A lot to play for. A lot to play for tonight as we're getting set, moving toward kickoff. We're about 11 and a half minutes away from kickoff according to the clock. The officials are meeting out in the middle of the field. If you're observing on the video, we're glad to have you on the video, glad to have you on the radio, and of course you can see the things that we are describing here this evening.
And it is a beautiful evening. One thing that helped a lot was they had a really large thunderstorm a couple hours ago, and although it's wet, it's cooled it off quite a bit.
Right.
Because it was really a hot day today.
It was a hot day. Hey, and you know something else that we need to mention, we just mentioned our sponsors here a few moments ago. I want to run through some of the sponsors, and we're going to do some live reads for some sponsors tonight and give them some attention. And we're also going to be playing commercials that are recorded and live on the air, so we want folks to certainly be a part of that. Okay. I'll pass that on. I'm getting a message here that says if we lose internet connection, the losers on the video can just refresh the page and the new video player will get it back up. So there you go. There's our first instruction. Trying to keep, this is something new that we're doing, so we're going to be giving instructions and everything. We got a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of like Tim's been up here working, and I'm going to tell you what Tim's looked like for the little bit that we've been up here. Tim could probably juggle house cats. You know what I mean? It's like he's been juggling cats ever since we got here. So he's got a lot of stuff going on right now. Look, sponsor-wise, we want to thank the fine folks. A brand new sponsor for us here on the broadcast, Southern Social Boutique, if I can even say it. I can't say it.
Say that again.
It's a lot of S's in a row. Southern Social Boutique. They have the latest styles and the trendiest clothes to make you look and feel your best at all time. Southern Social Boutique always has something that you will love to wear at a price you can surely afford. And with all the excitement of these footballs flying through the air, you'll want to go by and see them at Southern Social Boutique and pick up those Alabama and Auburn Game Day t-shirts that are available now for adults and children. You can like us on Facebook for continuing updates on new arriving merchandise. You can visit the website at southernsocialboutique.com, or you can come by and visit the store at 101 Main Street in downtown Atmore. You'll love the way you look when the clothes come from Southern Social Boutique, and that's a brand new sponsor, and we're glad to have them.
Yes, we are.
Because without our sponsors, we couldn't do what we do on Friday night. Glad to have them. As you're looking across the field now, if you're watching video, or I'll describe it, here come the Cougars. As they will come out and get ready, the Cougar captains are making their way to the near sideline, and all the rest of the Cougar players, as we are dressed in all white tonight. It looks like, let's see, Cougar captains are going to be, and I'm going to flip through and find what I did with my roster and everything. I'm not sure what I did with it. Here's one right here. So the captains for the Cougars are going to be number 11. That's going to be, of course, Bubba Nettles. Number 2 is going to be Landon Sims. Number 11, as I said, is Jadaniel Nettles, also known as Bubba. And let's see what we've got number-wise also. Number 54, as we go down to Marion Knight, who is a senior, and he is going to be on the field as a captain tonight, and also going to number 14, Brady Howell, also a senior. So seniors all across the board captain-wise for the Cougars as they get set to go out to midfield for the coin toss. We'll do that in just a minute. I tell you what, let's do. Let's take a commercial break from the station. We'll take a 1-minute break, and then we'll come back. And we'll come back with the coin toss, and we're not far. We're just a few minutes away. We're going to get this thing started, and we're going to play a little football on a Friday night, and I'm ready to go. Let's take a 1-minute break and come back. You're listening to Escambia Academy Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore.
Good evening. This is Greg Albritton, your state senator. It's great to be back under the lights of Friday night football. It's been a long time since I was a player under these same lights, but I haven't forgotten the hard work, determination, and teamwork it takes to finish the game with a victory. As your senator, I use these same principles in Montgomery as we compete with other areas of the state for the resources we need. It is my job to see that Escambia County comes out a winner.
Atmore Auto Parts, located at 105 North 2nd Avenue in Atmore, is your local Napa dealer, specializing in automotive parts, farm and agricultural parts, ATV and heavy-duty parts, marine and hydraulic hoses. Atmore Auto Parts is open Monday through Friday from 7 to 5 and on Saturdays 7 to 12. No one knows parts better than the folks at Atmore Auto Parts. So for your next project, call Atmore Auto Parts at 251-368-2148.
Here's some good policy from your local agent and Auto Owners Insurance. When your insurance policy comes from us, it comes with something extra, a real person. Don't buy from an insurance company with an 800 number and a voicemail menu. Auto Owners Insurance operates exclusively through local independent agencies, here to help you 24/7. Now that's good policy.
This is Larry White Insurance Agency at 430 Palafox Street in Fulmerton, or call 296-2471. Wi-Fi at Johnson Ford, we put our customers' wants and needs first. We respect your time and offer a stress-free approach to selling cars. This is reflected in our winning Ford President's Award 5 years consecutively. From sales to service, we do everything we can to achieve the highest level of customer service. We are proud to be the premier Ford dealership in this area. We invite you to come by and see us at 1828 South Main Street in Atmore to experience the no-hack, best price, first way of doing business. Stop by and see Jim Johnson and the staff, or give them a call, 251-368-2135.
And welcome back as we get set to kick this thing off here just very shortly, about 5 minutes away. And of course, the officials, if you're watching video, or just to describe it to you, the officials are now out at midfield, and of course the side judge officials have come to the sideline. They're going to grab the captains and go to the middle, and we're going to do a little coin toss here and be ready to get this thing started as we move forward. Once again, the captains for the Cougars is going to be it's going to be number 2. That's Landon Sims. He'll start at quarterback and also play some defense on that side of the ball. Bubba Nettles, Jadaniel Nettles, the senior, number 11. He's the running back for the Cougars. He'll be seeing the ball a lot this evening. Number 14, Brady Howell. He's going to. I remember Brady from baseball. He's a good athlete, a good player. He's going to be wearing number 14 tonight, and he'll be playing an H-back position on offense as well. And then number 54, one of the big linemen that we have, Tamarian Knight, a senior, number 54. He's on the field also as a captain for tonight's game.
Yeah, it looks like the captains for Pike will be number 6. They're a good running back, Aaron Greenwood, and that they're a good running back.
Yeah, I believe 6. So.
And number 55, Frankie Jeffcoat, and Dominic Pennington.
So they're out there. They're going to talk about things. Of course, the officials are going to take a little time and explain to these guys what the rules are going to be and what their expectations are, and then they're going to flip a coin, and we're going to see who is going to get the football first as we get started here tonight to start the first game of what we hope is 13 in a row for the Cougars. That would put us back in a state championship game in the Crampton Bowl at the end of the year. the white hat, he's the man in charge out there. He's the referee, and he's going to flip the coin, going to show it. The Cougars, of course, being the visiting team, they're going to call it. And as they continue to discuss, let's see what we got. They're going to spin them around, and it looks like the Cougars won the toss, and they're going to take the football. Nope, they actually defer.
They deferred, yeah.
So the Cougars won the toss. They'll defer, so they'll get the ball in the second half. Pike Liberal Arts, they'll take the football first, and they will defend. And I got to get my bearings.
That's north.
That's north, okay, and that's south. So Pike Liberal, they will defend the south goal. And I tell you what we're going to do real quick is I think we need to go ahead and go back to the station real quick and take a 1-minute break, because if not, we're going to be talking over the invocation and the national anthem. So we'll take a 1-minute break from the station and come back. You're listening to Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore.
Diamond gasoline stations with locations all over South Alabama and Northwest Florida wish all the local teams in the area good luck this football season. Thank you for making Diamond Gasoline your choice for quality fuels and convenience items. Diamond Gasoline is proud to support this broadcast and be a part of the community. And remember, fill your tank and save your green at Diamond Gasoline. Whether selling or buying home lots, land, or commercial properties in both Alabama and Florida, you need to see the fine folks at Southern Real Estate. Debbie Rowell, owner and broker, and agent David Dobson are ready to assist you with any real estate needs. Located at 800 East Nashville Avenue in Atmore and at southernrealestate.org on the web, they are just a phone call away at 251-368-4397. Choosing the right realtor makes all of the difference. See Southern Real Estate.
Juniper Creek Lumber, located in Uri, Alabama, is your place to call for all your custom-cut lumber needs. Whatever your project, Juniper Creek Lumber can cut lumber to your specifications, width, thickness, or length. You can check out the website at www.junipercreeklumber.com, find and like us on Facebook, or call Greg Fralick at 251-254-0414 or Cooper Dean at 251-362-8100. That's Juniper Creek Lumber in Uri, Alabama, for all your custom-cut lumber needs.
Here's some good policy from your local independent agent and Auto Owners Insurance. When you insure your home and car with us, you receive a multi-policy discount. And when you add Auto Owners Life Insurance, you get a special discount on your home and car insurance. Auto Owners Insurance will save you money on all of the insurance you already have. Now that's good policy. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem.
See the Larry White Insurance Agency at 430 Palafox Street in Flemington, or call 296-2471.
And welcome back as we get set in Troy, Alabama. They've put the number 12 and a 0-0 on the scoreboard. And you know what that means.
Now here comes
There's
the
12 minutes in a quarter. So we're fixing to get set and kick this thing off as the Cougars take the field. If you're watching on video, you can see them. The cheerleaders are coming out, and they're excited, and it looks like we got some folks down there. It looks like they're going bananas.
That's bananas.
I definitely recognize bananas. As a matter of fact, I've got one. I'm wearing a Savannah Bananas baseball cap right now, so I know what a banana looks like. And not only that, you can look at this cut. You can tell that I've had a banana or 12 in my lifetime. I like to eat those, especially the split variety, if you understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, welcome to Escambia Academy Cougar Football 2021. This is going to be awesome. We are set and ready to go. Both teams are going to take the field, and the Cougars are going to be kicking to Pike Liberal Arts. So right off the bat, we get to see what kind of backfield and what kind of offense that Pike Liberal Arts is going to have. Of course, they are the defending Class 3A state AISA champion in the state of Alabama, and the Cougars were the runner-up in Class 2A. It doesn't get any bigger than this. This is an awesome game to start the year with. Cougars are going to line it up, and they're going to be set to kick off. It looks like that's number 2, Landon Sims, with the football, as he's going to set his tee down at the 40. And he's going to tee the ball up and get ready to kick. Of course, Landon kicked a lot last year, did a great job with that, and you would only assume that over the summer and everything, he's worked on kicking the football and has probably gotten a lot better at it. So the Cougars are set. There's the whistle, and we're fixing to be underway. There's the kick. It's a high end over end. Awesome kick. It's going to drive the running back all the way back to around the 4-yard line. And here he comes, and he's got some running room as – not sure who that is going to be. He gets run out of bounds, corralled out over there on the far sideline, but a big run back there for Pike Liberal Arts. Yeah, I do not see any flags on the play.
That was their good running back. We've heard something a lot about Aaron Greenwood. Yep.
So Aaron Greenwood on the return, and, you know, that's something that Coach Fountain talked about in the pregame, is that they haven't done much kicking game in preseason, so you got to see what you got. You got to stay in your lanes when you go down the field, because everybody's got a job to do on kickoff return, just like you do on everything else. Pike Liberal Arts on offense. They're going to break the huddle. The Patriots do. They got trips set to the right side. They got a man in motion. That's number 10. Long snap, there's the clap, there's the handoff. Going to be to number 5 as he goes around left end and is going to run for good yardage on first down. So not very much contain. It is going to be enough for a first down, as the ball is going to be spotted down at the Cougar 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots. Patriots break the huddle. They've got trips set to the right side. Single set to the left. Here's the handoff. Fake right up the middle. The quarterback's going to keep it. And he's going to gain a couple of yards. Looks like he does move the sticks just a little bit. It's going to be a gain of about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down now and 8 yards to go for Pike Liberal Arts. Ball set at the 33-yard line. The Patriots break the huddle. They're in all red tonight. If you're watching on video, you can see that. If you're just listening on radio, Pike Liberal Arts in red helmets, red jerseys, and red pants. Ball's going to be on the ground. Quarterback's going to pick it up, and he's going to scramble to his left as the quarterback fumbled the snap.
Yeah, it was a bad snap. He just picked it up and swept around the left end with it and picked up. No, he didn't either. It's not quite a first down. 3rd and about 1.
So the play picks up 7 yards. Going to be 3rd down now and 1 yard to go. And just looking across the front line, number 77 right there for Pike Liberal Arts. If you can see him on video or if you can listen to the description, he's a large human. Quarterback from the shotgun. There's the snap. Handoff's going to be to the back. He's going straight ahead, and it looks like he's going to have enough for a first down as the ball crosses. It looks like it is downed right at the 25-yard line. No flags on the play. That is going to move the chain, so that's going to be a first down. 1st down and 10, Pike. Ball at the Cougar 25-yard line. Clock moving with 10:45 here in the first quarter. Pike Liberal Arts, they're on their first drive of the 2021 season, having taken the opening kickoff, and this is where they are. There's a little sweep around the end, and he's going to break a tackle and get all the way down enough for a first down.
Looks like maybe a block in the back on the Pike.
And we'll take it. You know, with that play, Rick, that they set up, that little jet sweep that they run to the back or to the wideout that's coming around, a lot of times what they'll do is when they've got a wide receiver to this side, they crack down, they run a crackback block down there, and it's easy. You know, these crackback blocks and things like this now, they're trying to make the game of high school football so much safer until those crackback blocks are a no-no, and that may have been what that was right there.
I'm not sure. I didn't get the signal too good. Yeah, there's nothing. They're not doing anything just, you know, extremely complicated. It's almost like the wing T type plays from, you know, just a shotgun snout.
So Pike's going to have the football. The penalty brings the ball all the way back. It's about, looks like about 20 yards to go. The ball all the way back on the Cougar 35-yard line. Here's the first pass of the game. Looking downfield, and I don't know. There's no way that he's calling that pass interference.
I think he is, but he shouldn't have been.
That was just good defense right there.
It sure was. He just barely had his hand on him.
Yeah, that was Bubba. No, not Bubba Nettles. That's number 3 for the Cougars. That's going to be Christian Crook.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was really. He had good position. He was running step for step with the wide receiver.
And he did have his hand on him, but I mean.
But he did not deter. The only thing he's doing right there is just, I guess it would be like a basketball play. That's just a hand check. You know, yeah. I mean, he's not slowing him down. He's not holding him. He's not doing anything. He's just running with him.
Yeah.
The good thing about high school football is that the penalty yardage
15.
Does not make it an automatic first down. It just remains first down. It's going to be first down now and looks like about 5 after the 15-yard penalty. It was 1st and 20, and after the penalty, it now becomes 1st and 5. Pike still with the football. Quarterback. Man in motion. It's going to be the little jet sweep. Number 10 with the carry. He runs around Bubba Nettles. And so that was number 10 on the carry for Pike.
Yeah, it's like we were saying earlier. There's nothing really complicated, just little wing T type sweeps. Puts man in motion, pitches him the ball, and he tries to outrun the pursuit to the corners. And Bubba actually had a good shot at him right there. He gave him a little bit of a stiff arm.
Well, one thing that I think Bubba did right there, or did not do, is he didn't keep his outside shoulder free. You know, one of the things they'll tell you is whenever you're defending, especially on the edge, you got to keep that outside shoulder free in your outside hand. And Bubba kind of turned, and once you turn, you're going to get beat to the outside.
Yep,
quarterback keeper, as he takes it, he's going to go the distance and into the end zone. So Pike Liberal Arts is going to score first in the ball game. So with 9:40 to go here in the first quarter, the score right now, Pike Liberal Arts 6, Escambia Academy nothing. Quarterback just stuck it in the gut of the back, and he faked it in there, and the Cougars bid on the fake. Of course, you've got to with the quality of running backs that they've got, but somebody has got to keep an eye on the quarterback. The quarterback pulled it out and was able to scamper into the end zone for the score.
Well, maybe it was just nerves on that drive, and they get that out of their system and get started here on offense.
Still early in the ball game, 9:40 remaining as the point after touchdown comes. There's the snap. It's down, it's through, and looks like it is no good. So he missed it to the right. So no good on that one, and the score will remain 6-0 for the Patriots of Pike Liberal Arts. Glad to have you folks with us. We haven't even seen the Cougars offense yet, so we're not panicking. It's early in the ball game, but the Cougars are fixing to get the football, and as they do, then we'll get to see what the Cougars are able to do on offense. Now, some of the Cougars are walking a little far down the field. They got to go back down the other way because Pike Liberal will be kicking to the Cougars. And I tell you one thing, since we're still here and you're looking, if you're watching on video, several of these kids for Pike Lib, they got some big kids. They've got some size, as do the Cougars. I mean, this looks like it is a very evenly matched size-wise. It looks like that they're, it's the S's. It looks like that they're, very evenly matched.
Yeah, it does. about the same number of players, same size, and I think they're both two good football teams.
So back deep for the Cougars to receive is number 11. That's going to be Bubba Nettles. And these 58-year-old eyes will not let me see all the way across the field right now. There's a high end-over-end kick. It's going to be fielded.
22.
That's actually going to be 22 for the Cougars. And he, with a good running back, with a good run back, number 22 is going to be Devin Kelly. And Devin Kelly is a 10th grader.
Wow.
And he brings the ball out across the
It's good field position.
35-yard line. It's going to be spotted on the, looks like the 37.
Yeah.
Where it'll be first down and 10 Cougars, their first time with the football. They call it the 36.
Boy, they really did pick up some big linemen. Now, they had some last year. I know that some of those are returners, but, I mean, that's a big offensive line, too.
Yeah, the Cougars with and one of the things that they did is one of the kids that they picked up is going to be the center, and the thing is the center is kind of like the quarterback of your offensive line.
That's got to be a face mask.
Got to be something. On the carry for the Cougars, that's going to be number 3, Christian Crook, and Crook loses his helmet. Let's see if they make him come off. He's going to have to come off, even though the helmet was
snatched off,
rudely dislodged because he lost his helmet. He's got to come off for one play. Play gain's about a half yard. Actually, they're going to mark off the penalty yardage now, and it is going to be a big penalty. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, face mask penalty, so that's going to spot the football all the way out at the 50-yard line. And it'll be first down and 10 Cougars from there. Cougars with trips to the right, tight end to the left. Here comes Landon Sims. He's going to keep it from his quarterback position and come out across the 45.
Close to a first down.
That's right. Put his nose down and was trying to get a first down, but looks like he's going to be about a half yard short, maybe a full yard. It's going to be second down and 9 as Landon Sims fakes the football to the running back and keeps the ball himself. Second down and 1. Ball spotted at the Patriots' 41-yard line. Single wide out to the left, slot to the right. 2 running backs. That's going to be number 11. That's going to be Bubba Nettles with a good spin move right after crossing the line of scrimmage. And that gets him a few extra yards. Hard running right there as he makes his way through the linebackers. And that's going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, that was a good hard run by Bubba.
So first down and 10 Cougars as they are moving the ball down the field. It's going to be first down and 10. The ball spotted at the Patriots' 36-yard line. As we talked about last year, you never see the Cougars huddle. They're going to signal the play in from the sideline. Landon Sims, he's going to keep it. He's got some running room right up the middle, still on his feet, battling for yardage. Let's see, he's going to be marked down. Just short of the end zone. Looks like the ball's going to be spotted down at about the 1. And with no flags on the play, that's going to be a first down and goal for the Cougars.
I tell you, that Landon Sims has deceptive speed. I mean, you give him much of a crease and he's gone.
Looks like there is going to be a flag on the play. But who is it against?
What?
It looks like, is it going to be offsetting? I'm really not sure. Of course, we've got our back to the, okay, so that's going to move the ball back. Actually, it looks like they spotted him down.
It's offsetting unsportsmanlike.
Okay, offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, but the ball gets spotted back at about the 6-yard line. I'm not sure where the 5 yards went.
I'm not either. I know unsportsmanlike conduct is 15 yards, not 5, so
There's handoff. It's going to be to Bubba Nettles. Bubba Nettles gets hit right after he crosses the line of scrimmage as a linebacker comes up and just hits Bubba right in the face and turns him around.
Yep, that was a hard hit.
Looks like no gain on the play as the ball looks like it's spotted back in the same spot it was.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be 2nd down and goal from about the 6-yard line. Wideouts wide to either side. 2 H-backs, single setback. Here's going to be the handoff. It's going to be Sims. He's going to keep it coming around the end. He's going to be in the end zone for a touchdown. So Landon Sims on the carry as he faked to Bubba Nettles and then kept the ball, came around left end, so he scores to answer the Pike Liberal Arts touchdown, and the score with 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter is tied up at 6-6.
Goes back to his speed again. I mean, that was almost like the old naked reverse. He just had no blockers and just knew he could out-sprint the defenders to the corner.
Well, just like we talked about when Pike had the football, you know, when EA has the football, you've got good backs in the backfield. You've got Bubba Nettles. You've got Christian Crook. You've got these other guys that carry the football. Well, you've got to honor them with their opportunity to get the football. And if you time it just right, the way Landon Sims did right there, and he pulls that out, then he, of course, takes it into the end zone for a score. Now, the difference so far in the ball game is our point after touchdowns. Remember last year we got on a little run with Landon Sims, and he kicked a bunch in a row. At one time, I believe he was up to 13 or 14 in a row, and that can be a big difference in a football game. So with 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter, the score, Escambia Academy 7 and Pike Liberal Arts 6. We'll take a 1-minute break and come back. You're listening to Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore.
This is your state senator, Greg Albrecht. Like many Americans, and most of us in Alabama, I love football. There is nothing quite as exciting as a well-played high school football game. I once played in some of those games in this very area on the very same gridiron. I want you to know that I have not forgotten what it takes to get onto the field and go for the win. I always use the same competitive spirit and perseverance in Montgomery so that Escambia County comes out the winner.
Pioneer Sales of East Bruton, Alabama says try our inventory out for mobile homes. Check their skirting prices. They're best around, and they install. They have floor vents, brown and white, 4x8 size, $4.25, 4x10, $4.95. Buy one, get one free. Window screens for mobile homes. They make them to size. They have tubs, doors, windows, faucets, bathrooms, and sinks. Light fixtures, plumbing, AC duct, furnace vanities, cool seals, step, and kitchen sinks as well. Just about anything to do with a mobile home, they have it at Pioneer Sales in East Bruton. Give them a call today, 867-8507.
After the kick, Pike Liberal Arts, they run the ball out to about near the 30-yard line. It looks like it actually the nose of the football is going to rail. Well, they just moved it back about 6 inches. So just short of the 30-yard line is where the ball's going to be spotted, and it's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Patriots right there. Cougars leading in the ball game here in the first quarter by a score of 7-6. Glad to have you folks on the radio with us this evening. Glad to have you folks that are joining us on video as well, as we do something new this season and we feed the radio broadcast over the video feed. So we're excited about being here, excited to be in both of these modes of communication as we are able to provide. And Tim Dorr does a great job on the video processing and everything. And as far as just, I mean, he is our producer here as he just puts everything together.
Somehow synchronized it all together.
And makes it all work. I don't mean to jinx you. That's kind of like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Nobody wants to, so I'm not going to talk to you anymore tonight, Tim. I'm going to leave you alone. Clock running with 6:15 to go in the first quarter of play. Cougars with the lead, 7-6. Pike Lib with trips to the right side. Single setback in the backfield. Quarterback from the shotgun, looking. Now he's going to tuck it down and go. He's going to get hit and corralled right near the 1st down.
That was a good open field tackle by Bubba Nettles on that play. He got the first down, but if he hadn't have stopped him, he'd still be running.
So 1st down and 10, Pike Lib. Clock running with 5:54 to go here in the first quarter. And early in the year, you know, Rick, early in the year, a lot of what these high school games come down to is conditioning. And it is a steamy, kind of warm night tonight.
Yep.
First game of the season. Quarterback's going to keep it after he sticks it in the back of the first back through, pulls it out.
Yeah, good penetration by the defensive line. I think that was number 54 or 64 for EA. No, Hunter Smith, 50. Well, I guess he did pick up 4 or 5 yards, though.
Yeah, he picked up about 4. That's going to be a timeout, and it's going to be a heat timeout as we move forward. You know, we just talked about conditioning. With this being the first game of the year, one thing that they will do is halfway through each quarter, they're going to take an official's timeout, and they're going to run the kids to the sideline and let them hydrate, let them get some fluids in them. The coaches don't mind it at all because, for one thing, you got to keep these kids, you got to keep the kids hydrated, but this is also like extra timeouts that you get. You know, if you figure one for the first quarter, one for the second quarter, that's 2 extra timeouts and a half. So instead of getting just 3, you actually get 5. So you're able to make adjustments.
Exactly.
And that's what the Cougars are doing right here.
You can see the coaches down there talking to them right now. So.
But I guarantee you, I've been out a couple of times and seen the Cougars practice and was out there even yesterday, which really amazed me because I want to tell you, I went out there yesterday and watched the practice yesterday. I remember on our Thursdays, back when I played, when I was a Blue Devil back in 1981 and even before that, you know, coming through the years, on Thursdays, all that was it was helmet, shorts, walk-through days. Well, they were in helmets and shorts yesterday, but those cats were working.
Shells.
I mean, they were working, and then after practice, you had kids out there that had makeup work that they were doing to try to get themselves better, and they were getting after it. There were 3 or 4 kids out there that actually stayed after practice to do extra work, and that's what it takes to be a winner.
It is, and when you see kids doing that, it tells you a lot about them, and a lot about their character and how bad they want to win.
2nd down and 6, the ball spotted on the 45. As we get started again, the quarterback's going to be in the shotgun, trips to the right. That's a lot of motion before the snap, and nobody throws anything. There's going to be
he caught that. That's an outstanding
catch.
It
was an outstanding catch. I was wondering there for a second. Of course, it's hard to see way across the field like that. I thought he may have been out of bounds.
Yeah, it's hard to, and these sidelines are pretty narrow anyhow, so. Obviously he wasn't, and it was a good catch. He went up and got it.
And there is a flag on the play. It's probably, the way everything is looking, it's probably going to be pass interference. No, it's actually against, it's going to be against the Pike Liberal Arts Patriots.
What was the call, Rick?
Okay. I tell you, it was an illegal touching on the receiver. What he did is he ran out of bounds on his own on the far side, and he came back in and caught the football, and you can't touch that and do that.
And that's a penalty.
That's right. That's why it's called illegal touching.
Right.
And it gets called so rare that when I saw the signal, I'm going, what's he saying? I'm not, you know.
Well, I asked you.
I mean, I'm going, okay, what's he signaling? And the guy, of course, in the press box, and he didn't even know because he's got a list up there.
Right.
He had the sheet. So he cheated, and he got it right, but he told us, and that's what it is. That was illegal touching because the wide receiver went out of bounds on his own.
Which means he cannot catch the ball after that. He can come back on the field to play and block.
Right, but hang on a minute now. Was that a 1-yard penalty?
No, it was 5. It was 2nd and 6.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, all right, my bad. I forgot where I was. I do that on occasion. There's another penalty. It's going to be a delay of game, and it's going to back Pike Liberal Arts up. Yeah, I'm glad you corrected me on that because I'm thinking, I guess the illegal touching is just a 5-yard penalty, and I was thinking maybe that it would be more than that. But now another 5 yards, and Pike is backing up. Cougars need to stop. I mean, we've shown on offense that we can move the football. We just got to show on defense that we can stop this bunch.
Well, I've noticed the defensive line is getting some more penetration.
Okay, there's a good tackle over there on defense.
Yeah, as the game has been going on, they've been getting a little more settled down, getting a little more penetration along the defensive line.
And, you know, one thing that happens is when you get started, especially with this being the first game of the season, you got all these jitters and nerves and everything else going on. And so, you know, usually you need to get hit to kind of feel the speed of the game. You know, I mean, and that's what's happened here. It looks like the Cougars have been, you know, they've gotten rocked a couple of times, and it looks like now they're ready to rock the other bunch, because after a while, after practicing against each other, you're tired of just hitting each other.
Oh.
Quarterback's going to be, and now he's going to run. He's going to get hit. Good tackle there.
So we got to stop.
We do have a stop. That is going to bring up a 4th down. As they drop back to pass does Pike. Nobody open downfield. The quarterback does a good job scrambling, but he had a long way to go with 14 yards.
Oh, we got a.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be maybe a holding call, defensive holding. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty. And since you accept the penalty, it'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot that the play started.
Yeah, 3rd down again.
So now it's going to be 3rd down instead of third down and 14. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. Pike with a slot either side. Quarterback in the backfield with a lone setback. Handoff is going to be to number 3,
Ooh,
and he gets stopped. And so with no flags on the play this time.
Yeah, I think both your inside linebackers scraped and filled their holes just like they're taught, and they stopped him dead cold. But they'll probably go for it right here.
J.J. Stevens gets credit with the tackle. They're probably going to try to get the Cougars to jump off right here. Because I would be hard-pressed this early in the year. Oh, they are going to go. There's the option. Going to come out. They got the 1st down, but I tell you, it was not badly defended, but just too many bodies out here to defend. You know, you got to have somebody on that defensive inside. Whenever they run option to the side that you're on, that onside defensive end, you got to get up in that quarterback's face. You got to get him right there and make him pitch. And then you got to have that cornerback coming up hard, and he's got to take picks, man. And the Cougars just didn't get there quick enough.
Our good friend Elvis Fry would have hit the pitch, man, wouldn't he?
That's correct.
Oh!
And there is a good tackle. And so it looks like flags down on the play.
You gotta be kidding me. He's gonna call that a penalty?
He's probably gonna. What? He's gonna call it a face mask against the Cougars. So a penalty on the play, and I mean, I can't tell. I honestly, it was a hard tackle. It looked like it was clean, but I couldn't tell what he grabbed a hold to. You know, from the distance that we are from, it is going to be a 1st down. And
some of the fans are disagreeing with the call for sure.
That's right. The 15 yards does not actually award a 1st down. It's going to remain 1st down, I guess, because they were backed up. So it's 1st down, and looks like about 3. There's the snap. Quarterback back to throw. Got a man over the middle. He's going to be open, going to make the catch. Enough for a 1st down.
Another
and going to
flag.
Be drugged down from behind. It's going to be holding this time. The penalty is going to be against Pike. 1:46 remaining here in the first quarter. 7-6 the score. Cougars in the lead. Pike Liberal Arts with the football. And right now it's 7 Cougars, 6 Pike. Referees 14. I believe that's about the number of penalties we've had here in the first quarter.
Yeah. Gonna have a water break for the white hat here before long.
Yeah, he's going to need rotator cuff surgery after the game because he's thrown his shoulder out throwing the flag. First down and a bunch. Quarterback back to throw. He gets out of the and is going to be finally taken down.
That will be a sack.
It was a sack as the Cougars do a good job defending. No flags downfield, which is a blessing, and so far in this ball game, unusual.
This will be about second down and 25 yards to go.
Second down and a bunch. As the clock now runs inside a minute, 49 seconds, 48, as Pike is going to break the huddle. They're going to come out. They've got slot set to the right side, actually a slot both ways. Single setback with the quarterback who takes the snap. Here comes the option. Very good defense there by the Cougars. And a little extracurricular there as
number 14, Brady Howell.
Yeah, and their number 14 out there throwing a block. He's given a little extra to a Cougar that goes unnoticed by the officials as things get a little chippy. Well, that's going to do it. We've played 1 quarter of play here in 2021, and the Cougars have won the first quarter that we've played, so that's good. At the end of the first quarter, the score, Cougars 7, Pike Liberal Arts 6. We'll take a 1-minute break and come back from the station. You're listening to Escambia Academy Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore.
Good evening. This is Greg Albritton, your state senator. It's great to be back under the lights of Friday night football. It's been a long time since I was a player under these same lights, but I haven't forgotten the hard work, determination, and teamwork it takes to finish the game with a victory. As your senator, I use these same principles in Montgomery as we compete with other areas of the state for the resources we need. It is my job to see that Escambia County comes out a winner.
Atmore Auto Parts, located at 105 North 2nd Avenue in Atmore, is your local Napa dealer, specializing in automotive parts, farm and agricultural parts, ATV and heavy-duty parts, marine and hydraulic hoses. Atmore Auto Parts is open Monday through Friday from 7 to 5 and on Saturdays 7 to 12. No one knows parts better than the folks at Atmore Auto Parts. So for your next project, call Atmore Auto Parts at 251-368-2148.
And welcome back. We want to thank our sponsors that allow us to travel and get on the road and come to Troy, Alabama on a Friday evening, the opening night of high school football here in the state of Alabama for the AISA and also for the Alabama High School Athletic Association. They've got games that are going on, and we're looking forward to a 10-game regular season and also 3 games in the playoffs as we get started with the Cougars here in 2021. About to get underway here in the second quarter. 12 minutes on the clock. Cougars leading by a score of 7-6.
It's 3rd and 25.
Pike Liberal Arts with the football. They're going to have a 3rd and 25. Ball looks like it's spotted at about their own 40. Quarterback with a single setback. Back to throw, looking. He's going to be flushed. Somebody's got to get on him. They've got to maintain containment as he continues to run. Good defense there as they finally turn him around and get him. He does gain about 15 yards on the carry. But what was incredible about that play was the defensive lineman for the Cougars. As you see them come off the field right here, those guys were pursuing and ended up catching the quarterback 15 yards down the field and made the stop.
Short of the first down, and, of course, they're going to punt.
So Pike will punt. Back deep to receive for the Cougars will be number 2. That's Landon Sims.
So we finally got – is that the first that's first punt?
Yeah, that'll be the first punt of the game. So the Cougars are going to take a timeout, and we'll just stay here as we are just underway here in the second quarter. 11:18 remaining. And the Cougars finally get that stop that we were looking for. And Rick, you know, looking as we went, the first drive, the Cougars kind of, you know, to be honest with you, they looked a little slow on defense during the first drive that Pike had the ball. And I believe the reason they did is because they were doing a lot of thinking. You know, you can't
tentative.
think. That's right. And you got to go to the football. You can't be tentative. You can't think and play defense. You know, basically what you got to do is you got to see ball, go to ball, tackle guy with the ball, and that's basically what defense is. And now that we've gotten further in the game, the Cougars, I believe, are getting a little freer with their pursuit of the football, and they're able to get there and do some things on defense.
I think that's very accurate. You can see a lot more speed by the Cougar defense, and they're playing with more confidence, and nerves settle down a little bit.
So now the Pike Liberal Arts Patriots, they're going to kick the ball. They're going to punt it. Back deep to receive is going to be number 2, Landon Sims. They snap it over the head of the kicker, of the punter, and a great play on defense, and the Cougars are going to have great field position.
Landon, yeah, Landon.
Okay, that's number 7, not number 2. Number 2 was back deep to receive. Kevin Farish, an 11th grader. Number 7 is able to get back there and get on the football and make the play on the punter. And so the ball's going to be spotted all the way back now. Cougars are going to have the ball first down and 10. Let's see where they mark it down. It's going to be first down and 10 Cougars.
Up the 28-yard line, I think.
Actually, that's going to be inside maybe the 23 because our wide receiver there is inside the 25.
Okay.
So the 23-yard line, first down and 10 Cougars. There's the snap. Handoff is going to be to the first back through. That's going to be Bubba Nettles. Flags fly, and they fly in the area that it looks like it's going to be offensive holding. Actually, a chop block is what is being called. So I remember back in the day, chop blocks were legal.
About those chop blocks?
You
and somebody else.
Somebody that we know that was probably guilty of one or a dozen of those. But back then, they were okay. Now they're not. And they're not for a good reason. I mean, you don't want to, because what happens on a chop block is you got one guy that fires off. He engages the guy that he's blocking on. And then if you're next to him without a guy on you, then you hit him in the knees and take his knees out. And that's why you have people like Dr. James Andrews making all these big bucks because they're
fixing ACLs.
Yeah, they're fixing ACLs and
PCLs
and knees and all that kind of stuff. So it's ugly. So that's going to be a second down now. The chop block penalty is going to be 15 yards. It'll be first down and 25. The ball all the way back out to about the 40-yard line. So first down and 25 for the Cougars. Handoff is going to be to number 11. That's going to be Bubba Nettles, and good defense there by Pike as they come up and corral Bubba. Jadaniel Nettles. That play is going to, let's see.
He might have picked up a couple.
Yeah, he picked up a couple. Second down and 41 is what they have on the scoreboard. Cougars with a tight set, no wide receivers. Send a man in motion. That's going to be Jadaniel Nettles. Quarterback's going to keep it. That's going to be number 2, Landon Sims, and he keeps it right up the middle.
I think he got 6 or 7 yards there.
Good play there by the linebackers as they stay at home. And that's what happens when your quarterback runs that run-pass option, that little fake up the middle and faking to the back and then keeping it. As after you've seen it a couple of times, you learn that you can't bite on the running back. Somebody's got to stay home and cover the quarterback.
Landon Sims.
Third down now, third down in a bunch. It's going to be about 36 yards to go. And that's going to be a penalty flag as the Cougars are unable to get the play off. And they do get a timeout. So somebody did a good job on the sideline for the Cougars as they spotted the time running out on the play clock. And with about 2 seconds left, they were able to call timeout, get the clock stopped. And so the clock will stop with 9:36 remaining here in the second quarter. And Cougars still leading in the ball game by a score of 7-6. You know, that's one thing. Those are the kind of mistakes that you will expect in the first game of the season. Not being able, the quarterback not picking up his clocks in the corner of the end zone where he's looking at the play clock. You know, you got 25 seconds to start, and what you've got to do is you've got to be able to get that play in, get it called, and then get the ball snapped within that 25 seconds.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to get the timeout either on that one, but of course, coach did get the timeout. So,
third down and 36 is what we're looking at. Cougars with the football.
No, the ball's on the 36. Yeah.
Oh, actually, okay, I'm sorry. Third down and, I guess, 25 is what they're calling it.
Oh, no. Well, we retain possession, but
right.
We will see the second punt of the game.
That's right. The Cougars are going to send the punt unit out there as it will be fourth down and a bunch of yards. And the Cougars will be forced to punt for the first time in the ballgame. So what could have been really good stuff happening for the Cougars on offense kind of backfired on them as they backed up.
Well, it was the chop block, and of course it wasn't done on purpose or anything. I mean, you could tell that it wasn't, but I mean that's really what got them backed up.
Right. Whistles on the field. So it's going to be a delay of game against the Cougars. Going to back them up 5 yards, but really on this punt situation, it's not that big a deal.
Not at this position on the field, sure.
And I'm sure that what the Cougars are going to do more than likely is they're going to kick the ball away from any would-be receiver anyway. There's the snap. Snap is good. Just like that, there's that Australian kick. That is going to
kick.
It's going to bounce and get out of bounds, and that's perfect. That's exactly what you want that kick to do is it bounces down at about maybe the 24, 23-yard line and then kicks hard to the right and ends up out of bounds.
No
Looks
return.
like at about the 20 with no return.
Yeah. That's exactly what that little Australian-style kick is designed to do.
So Pike Liberal Arts is going to have the football as they send the offense back out there. The Cougars will be back on defense as they work to control things here on defense and get the ball back. First game of the season, if you're just joining us, either on FM 105.9 WBZR Atmore on the radio side, or you may also be listening in on Facebook and YouTube as we are out there with the video portion of the broadcast as well. There's a running back. It's going to be around right in, and he's going to have good running room. As good blocking out there. So a first down carry on first down.
Looks like we'll have another penalty. No, it's not a penalty.
So first down and 10. And the ball is going to be spotted on the 33-yard line. As Pike breaks the huddle, they're going to have wide receivers a slot to the left, wide receiver set to the right. Here he comes in motion, and penalty flags are going to fly, and whistles are going to blow. Okay, so Pike Liberal Arts is going to call a timeout, and we'll tell you about some more things going on with our sponsors. Glad to have a brand new sponsor on tonight, and I tell you what, if you've not checked out their Facebook page and seen some of the stuff that they've got that they'll also have in the store and have available for you, you need to check it out, because you can see it on Facebook as they update their Facebook page all the time. They've also got a website that you can go to, and they've also got a location in downtown Atmore. Southern Social Boutique has the latest styles and the trendiest clothes in the location on the website. They got some really cool hats, too. I look on there all the time, and they've got, if your guy, ladies, if your guy is a hat wearer like I am, you need to hook your man up with a hat, and you can get it at Southern Social Boutique. Go by and see them, as Southern Social Boutique will be glad to see you. They've also got those great Alabama and Auburn game day T-shirts. As a matter of fact, my little niece on Facebook, Mally Claire Dean, was modeling one of those little Auburn T-shirts. That was awesome. Yeah. Even though I'm an Alabama fan, I gave her a War Eagle because that was an Auburn-looking T-shirt. And it's available at Southern Social Boutique, so go by and see them. Penalty flags are flying from everywhere, and I'm not sure.
Looks like, did he call it unsportsmanlike conduct?
Not sure whether it's unsportsmanlike. It may be against each other or maybe against both teams. Let's see what we got. I didn't actually see what happened, but they're motioning. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be offsetting. It's going to be all on both teams. And the thing is with that is you have to be careful about those unsportsmanlike penalties, because you get one, you're okay. You get the second one, and you're done.
Yeah.
And then you're not only done for the remainder of this ball game, you're done for the first half of the next one.
Yeah.
And I believe who got called on that was number 2, Landon Sims, and he's your starting quarterback. You don't need Landon getting in trouble on the field. I didn't see him do anything either.
You usually, I didn't see anything that egregious.
Right. Yeah, that's a good word, egregious. Whistles from everywhere, but no flags, as Pike runs the football up into the middle of the Cougar defense. Looks like it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 for the Patriots. Clock still running. We're in the first half of the ball game here in the second quarter. Clock moving with 6:50 to go. Play clock down to 4, 2, 1, and I don't believe they got it off unless somebody called a timeout.
They might have got the timeout. I think they did.
No.
Nope, they didn't.
Nope, they're calling it a delay of game. It'll be a delay of game penalty against Pike Liberal Arts, and that'll back them up 5 yards.
That's a big penalty, too. Went from 3rd and sort of manageable to 3rd and long now.
Looks like 3rd and about 13.
Yeah.
There's the snap. They're going to throw. Quarterback looking down the field, got an arm, going to throw it way downfield, and he caught it as the receiver just actually ran the football down, and he's going to step out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Looks like he's going to be marked out at about the 3. That's just speed right there. The quarterback threw it as far as he could throw it.
As hard as he could throw it, he just ran under it.
And the wide receiver just turned on the jets. You could see him accelerate toward the end of the play. He just ran the ball down.
Yeah.
That's one thing you cannot do anything to teach. You cannot make a kid very much faster. That is a God-given ability, and that was an incredible rundown of the football right there on that. All he did was he just left the line of scrimmage on a go, and the quarterback threw it up and he ran it down.
That's what it was, a go route, and he threw it about 55 yards in the air.
Looks like Pike is going to take a timeout. So 6:09 remaining here in the first half, and Pike is knocking on the door. After that deep pass play, they run a go, and like I said, the quarterback just dropped back. Wasn't anything fancy. Wide receiver just left, gave him a little head shake at the line of scrimmage and went down the sideline. And Pike's quarterback just threw it up. He's got a good arm, and he threw it down there, and the wide receiver just able to run the ball down and ran by everybody. Finally, good hustle there on the back end of the play as the wide receiver stepped out of bounds, was kind of pushed out of bounds there at about, looks like about the 3-yard line, or actually they got it marked on the scoreboard as the 2. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 2. 7-6 the score. A battle of 2 very good football teams right here. The number 1 ranked team in the state, according to the Alabama Sportswriters Association, the Pike Liberal Arts Patriots, against the number 3 ranked team in the state by the same group, the Alabama Sportswriters Association. Number 3 ranked team is Atmore's own Escambia Academy Cougars. Cougars leading in the ball game right now, 7-6. Pike Liberal Arts coming back out after their timeout. They're going to spot the ball down at the 2. Quarterback still in the shotgun, single setback. He's got slot set left, and let's see what we got. Still hadn't seen a signal yet. Looks like, well, it's against the Cougars.
Yeah, they may have lined up in the neutral zone. Because, he called the whistle quick. So
right.
The ball snapped.
So that's a half the distance penalty. That's going to move the football down to the 1-yard line and into the end zone. Pike is going to score. So with 6:04 remaining here in the first half, Pike is going to take a 12-7 lead. Now here's where things happen that can be big. Pike obviously, I think here, would go for 2.
Yeah, I think they are.
And so that's where the big point after touchdown earlier by the Cougars, the kick by Landon Sims, is going to pay big dividends. And not only that, the ball's going to be placed down at the 3-yard line, so if the defense of the Cougars can get a stop right here, that will also be equally as big. Quarterback from the shotgun. He's got 2 backs, 1 to either side. Clap. He's going to keep it himself and get drugged down from behind, so that's awesome. As number 10, J.J. Nettles, J.J. Stevens, shoots the gap, and makes the play from behind. So the failed point after touchdown, the Patriots are unable to get the 2 points, and they lead, but that's a big play. They only lead by a score of 12-7. We'll take a break and go back to the station. With 6:04 remaining in the first half, you're listening to Escambia Academy Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore and on YouTube and Facebook Live.
Wi-Fi at Johnson Ford. We put our customers' wants and needs first. We respect your time and offer a stress-free approach to selling cars. This is reflected in our winning Ford President's Award 5 years consecutively. From sales to service, we do everything we can to achieve the highest level of customer service. We are proud to be the premier Ford dealership in this area. We invite you to come by and see us at 1828 South Main Street in Atmore. To experience the no-hack, best price, worst way of doing business, stop by and see Jim Johnson and the staff or give them a call, 251-368-2135.
And welcome back as Pike Liberal Arts leads with 6:04 remaining in the first half. Pike Liberal Arts leads by a score of 12-7. Cougars lining up to receive the kickoff from the Patriots. Cougars dressed in their all-white uniforms, white jerseys, white pants with cardinal and gold trim. Cardinal helmets on all of the Cougars. There's a high end-over-end kick going to be fielded down at about the 15-yard line, it appeared. And here comes number 22 with the football for the Cougars.
It'll be Devin Kelly.
Devin Kelly with the football. And he has a good run back as he's going to cross the 25-yard line. And it looks like the ball's going to be spotted down for the Cougars.
About the 26.
It'll be first down and 10 there at the 26-yard line. The Cougars have proven they can move the football on offense. And if it wasn't for the big play earlier, they've been playing really good on defense as well.
Yeah, a lot of penalties for both sides so far in the game.
And that can be expected first game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
There's a handoff, going to be to the first back through, got running room. Helmet comes off. That's going to be number 3.
That's targeting!
And that's
somebody hurt.
Number 3, I believe that's going to be Christian Crook. That's the second time that Christian's helmet's popped off, and I know there's some people saying that that was targeting. I'm not sure about the targeting call, but we need to do something about cinching that helmet up a little bit and keeping it on that noggin. It don't do any good laying on the ground.
I think he's all right.
Yeah, I think he is too. He just needs to tighten that chin strap a little bit. Handoff is going to be to the back. That's going to be number 11.
He got smothered.
Jadaniel Nettles. And you know, when Bubba's in the ball game, they expect Bubba to get the football. Clock running 5:13 to go here in the first half. Cougars trailing now in the ball game by a score of 12-7. Cougars with 1 timeout remaining in the half and 2 timeouts remaining for Pike Lib. Landon Sims at quarterback. The play gets signaled in. He's checking his armband, looking his people over. Here's the handoff. No, he fakes it. He's going to keep it. Landon Sims still with the football. Got running room. Good move, and is going to get enough for first down. I tell you, that is an awesome run there by number 2, Landon Sims, as he made some people miss. So first down and 10 for the Cougars on a big play there by Landon Sims.
Yeah, you don't account for Landon at your own peril because he's
just a tough kid. There's the snap. Handoff is going to be, no, he kept it. There's number 2, and he runs over a guy back there. A good play there, and like I said, you can tell.
RPO down. He really does. He is selling the fake and
well, right now it's an easy call because you just saw what happened when the fake went to number 11, Bubba Nettles. Bubba got lit up, and Landon was free to run with the football. Cougars with the football, slots wide to either side. There's a pump fake and a man wide open, and he catches it. And would have walked into the end zone, but his head got in front of his feet a little bit. But a great play, a big-time play. So there's your answer, Malachi Haynes for the Cougars, as he made an incredible catch.
He really did. He sort of did the same thing their receiver did a while ago. He ran under it.
That was a great play. The answer for the Cougars, what you can do, we can do.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost the exact same play.
That's right. And Landon Sims with a good job throwing the football right there. So easy. It's easy to miss that wide open guy. Let's see, nothing yet, as they're going to mark it down as a second down. No arms in the air yet as the Cougars try to get the ball into the end zone. Bubba Nettles with the football, but does not get in, according to the referees. No penalty flags on the play, so the Cougars are going to run another play here. Clock running with 2:40 remaining here in the first half. Cougars with the football. They got to be down right on the 1. There's the snap. It's going to be picked up.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. The far side referee comes running in with his arms held up into the air. That signifies that is a touchdown. So the Cougars are going to score with 2:28 remaining here in the first half, and they're going to take the lead. So the Cougars now lead by a score of 13-12. And just like I said earlier, the extra point after touchdown, those things are big. Everything counts in this game, especially when you've got two closely matched, very good football teams like we're seeing tonight. 2:28 remaining. Cougars leading 13-12. Cougars are going to line up, and they're going to kick the point after touchdown. There's the snap. Ball is placed down. There's the kick. It is up and no good. So the Cougars failed to get the point after touchdown, but they still lead in the ball game by a score of 13-12. So let's take a break and come back. With 2:28 remaining here in the first half, the score: the Escambia Academy Cougars 13, the Pike County Patriots 12. You're listening to Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore, on YouTube, and on Facebook Live.
Diamond Gasoline stations with locations all over South Alabama and Northwest Florida wish all the local teams in the area good luck this football season. Thank you for making Diamond Gasoline your choice for quality fuels and convenience items. Diamond Gasoline is proud to support this broadcast and be a part of the community. And remember, fill your tank and save your green at Diamond Gasoline. Whether selling or buying homes, lots, land, or commercial property in both Alabama and Florida, you need to see the fine folks at Southern Real Estate. Debbie Rowell, owner and broker, and agent David Dobson are ready to assist you with any real estate need. Located at 800 East Nashville Avenue in Atmore and at southernrealestate.org on the web, they are just a phone call away at 251-368-4397. Choosing the right realtor makes all of the difference. See Southern Real Estate.
Penalty flags on the play, as it looks like maybe a Cougar is going to be offsides right there on the kick.
As hard for that is to believe, there's a penalty flag on the field.
Been a bunch of them, and I didn't really see it because I had my eye directly on the football.
I see the flag. It's over on this side.
Well, I saw it. Yeah, I get the flag part. I'm talking about I didn't actually see the penalty. But anyway, they caught it, and I believe that's going to be on Malachi. I heard somebody say Malachi, and Malachi Haynes is number 1. He's going out there. He's a little secretive going on there, a little whispering back and forth. Yeah, he did something. Gave him the answer to the question. Gave him the answer to the test question. 2:28 to go. Here's the kick. Going to be high and end over end. Going to be fielded back. Bubbled, juggled. Here comes the back, and he's got some speed, got some running room. He's going to be corralled and finally taken down. As the Cougars now doing a better job on kick coverage.
Yeah,
you know,
that
that's something,
good coverage there.
Something that we struggled with there early in the ball game.
As people say these days, they stayed in their lane.
That's right. Yeah. I get it. I see what you did.
Stay in your lane, bro.
Yeah, I see what you did right there. But, you know, thinking back, how many times on kick coverage practice were we told that? You got to stay in your lanes. Right. You go down the field and you stay in your lanes, because if you converge toward the football, what does that do to the rest of the field? It opens it up.
It's part of the urban lexicon. So.
That's right. There's the hand clap for the snap. Quarterback back to throw. And the ball falls incomplete. No penalty flags on the play, so that'll stop the clock with 2 minutes, 12 seconds left to go here in the first half. Cougars with the lead, 13-12. You don't want to get beat deep like we did earlier. And, of course, that could have actually been a fluke because we've got speed on the field just like they do. But you got to stay, especially if you're playing safety. And there's Landon Sims out at safety number 2. You got to stay as deep as the deepest guy.
Yeah, call a little draw play there.
And that's not a bad play call either. I remember one time back years ago, and you'll recognize the name. We were in a junior high game. I was helping coach junior high football down there in Atmore, and we had a draw play that we ran against Gulf Breeze High School down in Gulf Breeze, Florida. And all we were trying to do was run the clock out because we were up pretty good, but we ran a draw play to Murray Hill.
Oh.
About 75 yards later, he was in the end zone. And, of course, he went on to play at the University of Alabama.
Starting several games.
Oh, yeah. There's a little pass play. Got a man open. Got to play defense now. Don't let him get beyond you. There you go. 1:24. The clock's still running. It's going to be a first down for Pike Liberal Arts as they're in a hurry-up offense trying to work the ball down the field. It'll be first down and 10. The ball spotted at their own 48-yard line. Trips to the left, wide receiver set to the right. Single setback in the backfield with the quarterback. He's going to take the shotgun snap. There it is, looking to throw.
Got a blitz.
Oh, they miss him.
Past him. Oh.
Yep, and a lot of running room right there as the quarterback's able to get the ball down the field.
Yeah, when you send your linebackers like that, they can't lose containment. And like you said, you got to keep him to your inside shoulder.
That's right, because that's where everybody else is. You know, what you're wanting to do is stay outside with the guy, and you got to turn him back in where you got some help. Right. Inside a minute to go, 58.9 seconds to go here in the first half. 13-12 the score, Cougars lead. Pike Lib with the football. They're driving down the field. First down and 10, ball spotted at the 30. There's the snap.
Little draw, they got it that
and
time.
they read it perfectly. Yeah. Good job there by the Cougars on defense. So the Cougars do a good job right there, and a timeout is going to be called as Pike Liberal Arts is going to take their second timeout of the first half. They'll have one left. And we'll just stay right here with 52.5 seconds left. Cougars need a stop here, and they need to go in at halftime leading 13-12. You can see if you're watching on video, this is a big crowd here tonight for Pike Lib. And
it really is, and a lot of people from Canoe and Atmore made the trip up here.
That's right. Supporting these Cougars as we get started. And, of course, like I said, and you can tell, this is the #1 ranked team in Class 3A, the #1 team in AISA across the field over there, and the Cougars are leading them right now going into the half, 13-12. This bunch over here dressed in white's not a bad football team either.
No, they aren't. It's a good football game. Don't, like we discussed earlier, I think both sides a little chippy with each other, and then there's been quite a few penalties. Some of the penalties were, I guess you could say, nitpicky.
Well, it's early in the year for the referee crews as well.
That's
you know,
right.
every now and then I gotta take up for my boys in stripes because I've been out there and I've done it. And I tell you one thing: if you've never officiated a game, whether it be football, baseball, or whatever, if you've never done it, then kind of just sit and watch.
And it's difficult.
It's not easy. There's a lot of stuff going on, and your eyeballs are trying to follow all of it. From the shotgun, there's the snap.
Again.
Looking down the field, let's see, got a man open, and there's going to be penalty flags. And I don't know who they're calling the penalty on right there, but obviously a bunch of folks saw it.
I mean, when you throw the ball up for grabs like that and they're both shoving each other, who do you call the penalty on?
Well, you also got to remember that
that may be offensive.
Not sure. Nope. It's against the Cougars.
You got to be kidding me.
Well, the thing is like we said, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, so it's not going to move the ball but 15 yards. It is going to be enough for a first down. The Cougars just got to play defense. And, you know,
yeah, I just don't see how you can, when they're both shoving each other and the ball was clear, it's almost like a fade pass. It's thrown up for grabs. So how do you call a penalty on either one of the guys?
Well,
or at least call it on both of them.
Well, and like I said too, Rick, you know, the thing is it's first game of the year for the referees as well. I guarantee you, if it's a little ticky tacky, that, you know, that what's going on, the officiating crew will talk about this at halftime.
Yeah.
There's a little jet sweep. It's going to be handled by number 10 as he goes around right in. As they bring the wide receiver in motion, little jet sweep to him. That's actually a pass. You know, we talked about this some last year,
right.
And also you see it a lot in college football, especially now. They bring that guy in motion, and then they do that little pitch to him in the front, which is actually a forward pass, which is actually a good move because if the back happens to drop the football, it's incomplete and not a fumble.
Right.
Injured man on the far side, and let's see who we got. It looks like Pike Lib is looking at one of theirs. It is not a Cougar player down.
Yeah, I can't see. Way too far from my old eyes.
As nobody from the Cougars medical staff or coaching staff has gone over there. All the Cougars are in the middle of the field. And so let's see what they got. I think Coach Fountain is letting the officials know that, you know, it's actually an injury timeout, but Pike Lib's treating it like a timeout. So Coach Fountain went out there and he called the Cougars to his highlight, and I saw him point. It's like he's saying, hey, if they can do it, we can do it. And so, and I think that what the situation is like I say, as long as they don't come beyond the numbers,
right,
that the coaches can go out, because there is no play going on right now. There's no clock. There is an injury timeout. They're going to take care of the injury, and then coaches will return. But you're exactly right. You know, I mean, what happens is if they can talk to their guys, then Coach Fountain was right and said, hey, look, we're going to talk to our guys too, and he called them over.
And actually made a substitution. So
39.5 seconds to go. 13-12 the score. Cougars with the lead.
Ball's on the 3-yard line.
So Cougars need a play right here. We need a loss. Pike Lib has one timeout remaining. Cougars also have one. So now they've got both teams, got one team huddled up, one team on defense, and they got them standing over there because we've still got injury being looked at on the far sideline.
Yeah, and they can't play until they get him kind of away from the sideline.
Right. They're just rolling him. Tim's giving me play-by-play on what's happening over there because his eyes are younger than mine, and I'm sitting there looking, and, yeah, that's exactly what they did. They just rolled him out of the way. Got him further off the field, but they're not moving him. First and goal for Pike Lib.
Oh.
Handoff is going to be, or direct snap.
Oh, he had him.
And play was not made on defense, so Pike Lib is going to score.
He had him.
As the back took the direct snap, he went.
Tim tried, he didn't wrap up. He had him in his arms for a second, but he got loose.
Went around right in, and with 34.1 seconds to go here in the first half, Pike Lib's going to take a lead as they're going to have a 5-point lead now by a score of 18-13. So 34.1 seconds left. Pike Lib's going to do the point after. Cougars are going to get the football back with a little bit of time left here in the first half.
And as we've seen, they can sling it. So, and also they get the ball to start the second half since they deferred. Cougars
make an attempt to come across and block the extra point. But they had folks moving, but I don't know who they're calling it on. I would say it had to be against, just looking, it would have to be against the Cougars. It's only going to amount to a 1.5-yard penalty because it's a point after touchdown. So it just all depends on what you want to do. It's offsides against the Cougars. And I'm really not sure whether they took it or they did. I don't think they did. I think they just said leave it where it's at. So the point after coming with 34.1 seconds to go. There's the snap. High snap, going to be kicked and going to be good. As he kicked a line drive, and the ball never did anything end over end. It just kind of spiraled on its nose.
I don't think it got over 14 feet high.
It was pretty ugly.
But it counted.
Yep, it went through the uprights, and that's all that matters. So with that being the case, the score now with 34.1 seconds to go in the first half, Pike Lib 19, Escambia Academy 7. Or I'm sorry, 13. I had 7 in my mind because I'm thinking, well, if we score and then kick the extra point, that's 7 points. And so we're still up by 1. So that's the good thing.
And you can never tell what will happen here. I mean, we know Landon's got a good arm. They've got 1 timeout, and they'll have the ball with about 27, 28 seconds. So
and also, you know, I've seen it happen before too. You never know when you got people back there receiving the kickoff, like Landon Sims, and also there goes number 11, Jadaniel Bubba Nettles. I mean, something like that can happen. You never know. You may get a run back. Because both of those cats can motor with the football.
They can. Which one's the fastest?
You know, I don't know.
I don't know. They look very close.
Yeah, I would like to see them run a foot race. All right, Pike Lib is going to kick the ball off. I'm not sure whether this is the same kid that's been kicking all game. I wouldn't be surprised right here with just this amount of seconds. They may not even be kicking it deep. Well, they do. They kick it deep, but it's angled toward the sidelines, and it looks like it's going to go out of bounds.
So that's great because it didn't burn any clock, and they'll get the ball in good field position with their timeout.
Yeah, the ball will come out to, I believe, the 35-yard line. Or what they may do is they're going to back it up 5 yards and make them re-kick, which is also a good move because that way you may get a chance this time for somebody to handle the football. So they'll back it up 5, and instead of kicking from the 40, they'll kick off from the 35. So the ball will be teed up at the 35. Number 1, Renfro, kicking for Pike Lib. Checking on his boys to make sure everybody's set, and here he goes. He approaches the football. There's the kick. Going to be a high end-over-end kick. Going to be mishandled. Back at about the 17, 18-yard line. Here comes Bubba Nettles. Bubba on his feet. Going to cross the 25. Still on his feet across the 30. And it looks like they're going to mark his forward progress right there at about the 30-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Cougars.
That kicker from Pike kicked it a long way. I mean, that was a good, wasn't a high kick, but he kicked it deep and forced Bubba to have to run back toward it. And he juggled it a little bit and still made a decent return.
So first down and 10 for the Cougars. 23.5 seconds left to go. Cougars trailing in the ball game here at the end of the first half. The score, Pike Lib 19, Escambia Academy 13. Trip set to the left side, slot or single wide receiver to the right.
You have Malachi Haynes out here, the same guy that caught the long pass earlier, wide out.
There's the snap. Handoff is going to be right up the middle. Number 3, no, it's going to be faked. That was a good fake.
Yeah, he sells it well. He
and
does.
I think the reason they did that, I think the Cougars are content right here. They don't want to make a mistake down here on their own end, and they're just going to let time run out, and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we're at the end of the first half of a very good football game here in Troy, Alabama, as we continue with the opening of the 2021 season here on WBZR. And you're also listening or watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube. If you're catching the video feed, we're glad to have you folks on board. We're going to take a break and come back. Joe, we'll go to you at the station, and you can just play all our spots and let us get a little breath of fresh air here and get a little something to drink, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it as we continue through halftime and work our way through it. At the end of the first half, the score, Pike Lib 19, Escambia Academy 13. You're listening to Escambia Academy Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore, and you could be watching on YouTube and on Facebook Live.
This is your state senator, Greg Albrecht. Like many Americans and most of us in Alabama, I love football. There is nothing quite as exciting as a well-played high school football game. I once played in some of those games in this very area on these very same gridirons. I want you to know that I have not forgotten what it takes to get onto the field and go for the win. I always use the same competitive spirit and perseverance in Montgomery so that Escambia County comes out the winner.
Pioneer Sales of East Bruton, Alabama says try our inventory out for mobile homes. Check their skirting prices. They're best around, and they install. They have floor vents, brown and white, 4x8 size, $4.25, 4x10, $4.95. Buy one, get one free. Window screens for mobile homes. They make them to size. They have tubs, doors, windows, faucets, bathrooms, and sinks. Light fixtures, plumbing, AC duct, furnace vanities, cool seal, step, and kitchen sinks as well. Just about anything to do with a mobile home, they have it at Pioneer Sales in East Bruton. Give them a call today, 867-8507.
Can you mute us there?
Good evening. This is Greg Albrecht, your state senator. It's great to be back under the lights of Friday night football. It's been a long time since I was a player under these same lights, but I haven't forgotten the hard work, determination, and teamwork it takes to finish the game with a victory. As your senator, I use these same principles in Montgomery as we compete with other areas of the state for the resources we need. It is my job to see that Escambia County comes out a winner.
Atmore Auto Parts, located at 105 North 2nd Avenue in Atmore, is your local Napa dealer, specializing in automotive parts, farm and agricultural parts, ATV and heavy-duty parts, marine and hydraulic hoses. Atmore Auto Parts is open Monday through Friday from 7 to 5 and on Saturdays 7 to 12. No one knows parts better than the folks at Atmore Auto Parts. So for your next project, call Atmore Auto Parts at 251-368-2148.
Here's some good policy from your local agent and Auto Owners Insurance. When your insurance policy comes from us, it comes with something extra, a real person. Don't buy from an insurance company with an 800 number and a voicemail menu. Auto Owners Insurance operates exclusively through local independent agencies here to help you 24/7. Now that's good policy.
This is Larry White Insurance Agency at 430 Palafox Street in Wilmington, or call 296-2471. Wi-Fi at Johnson Ford. We put our customers' wants and needs first. We respect your time and offer a stress-free approach to selling cars. This is reflected in our winning Ford President's Award 5 years consecutively. From sales to service, we do everything we can to achieve the highest level of customer service. We are proud to be the premier Ford dealership in this area. We invite you to come by and see us at 1828 South Main Street in Atmore to experience the no-hack, best price, first way of doing business. Stop by and see Jim Johnson and the staff or give them a call, 251-368-2135.
And welcome back.
Gasoline stations with locations all over South Alabama and Northwest Florida wish all the local teams in the area good luck this football season. Thank you for making Diamond Gasoline your choice for quality fuels and convenience items. Diamond Gasoline is proud to support this broadcast and be a part of the community. And remember, fill your tank and save your green at Diamond Gasoline. whether selling or buying home lots, land, or commercial properties in both Alabama and Florida, you need to see the fine folks at Southern Real Estate. Debbie Rowell, owner and broker, and agent David Dobson are ready to assist you with any real estate needs. Located at 800 East Nashville Avenue in Atmore and at southernrealestate.org on the web, they are just a phone call away at 251-368-4397. Choosing the right realtor makes all of the difference. See Southern Real Estate.
Juniper Creek Lumber, located in Uri, Alabama, is your place to call for all your custom-cut lumber needs. Whatever your project, Juniper Creek Lumber can cut lumber to your specifications, width, thickness, or length. You can check out the website at www.junipercreeklumber.com, find and like us on Facebook, or call Greg Fralick at 251-254-0414 or Cooper Dean at 251-362-8100. That's Juniper Creek Lumber in Uri, Alabama, for all your custom-cut lumber needs.
Here's some good policy from your local independent agent and Auto Owners Insurance. When you insure your home and car with us, you receive a multi-policy discount. And when you add Auto Owners Life Insurance, you get a special discount on your home and car insurance. Auto Owners Insurance will save you money on all of the insurance you already have. Now that's good policy. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem.
See Larry White Insurance Agency at 430 Palafox Street in Flemington or call 296-2471.
This is your state senator, Greg Albrecht. Like many Americans and most of us in Alabama, I love football. There is nothing quite as exciting as a well-played high school football game. I once played in some of those games in this very area on the very same gridiron. I want you to know that I have not forgotten what it takes to get onto the field and go for the win. I always use the same competitive spirit and perseverance in Montgomery so that Escambia County comes out the winner.
Pioneer Sales of East Bruton, Alabama says try our inventory out for mobile homes. Check their skirting prices. They're best around, and they install. They have floor vents, brown and white, 4x8 size, $4.25, 4x10, $4.95. Buy one, get one free. Window screens for mobile homes. They make them to size. They have tubs, doors, windows, faucets, bathrooms, and sinks. Light fixtures, plumbing, AC duct, furnace vanity, cool seal, step, and kitchen sinks as well. Just about anything to do with a mobile home, they have it at Pioneer Sales in East Bruton. Give them a call today, 867-8507.
And welcome back as we continue here on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore as we've had the cheerleaders out at halftime, and now we've got Majorette out on the field for the Cougars, of course, entertaining the home crowd as we continue here. And we continue here at halftime. Cougars trailing in the ball game by a score of 19-13. And we just want to touch base. You know, we took a long commercial break there. We wanted to include all of our commercial sponsors. And we just want to tell you all about them. Pioneer Mobile Home Sales and Service out of East Bruton, Alabama. They're one of our sponsors. Also, Juniper Creek Lumber out of Uri, Alabama. Southern Social Boutique out of Atmore, downtown Atmore. Also, you can catch them on Facebook, and they've got a web page that you can take a look at. They've got some incredible stuff there at Southern Social. Also, the Larry White Insurance Agency for all your insurance needs. And if you need gas and a good hot cup of coffee, the fine folks at Diamond Gasoline are proud sponsors of Cougar football. And also, if you may be looking for a home or looking to sell your home, you need to call Southern Real Estate. They'll be glad to take care of you. Also, looks like Atmore Auto Parts is in the mix for Cougar football here in 2021. And the fine folks down, if you need a ride, go by and see the fine folks at Johnson Ford. If you're looking for a vehicle to ease around town in, then the folks at Johnson Ford, they'll be glad to see you, and they'll hook you up in just what you need. Cougars trailing in the ball game by a score of 19-13. Rick, you know, we knew this was going to be a tough game coming in. Two very good football teams. We talked about it. Been a lot of penalties early in the year. First game, a lot of jitters, a lot of things going on, you know. And but all in all, a good football game to watch.
It has been a very good football game, and of course the Cougars get to receive the ball to start the second half, which is one of the reasons they just went ahead and ran out the clock there at the end. No need in taking a risk, like you said, and they'll receive to start the second half. So. The other team's got the lead 19-13 13, but they have one more possession also. So it's really a very even ball game so far.
Yeah, Cougars are playing good both offensively and defensively. Now, I ain't going to lie to you now, when the game first started and we were on defense, Pike Lib, they were eating up some big chunks of yardage offensively running the football, and I said, whoa, wait a minute. But as the game has progressed, we talked about it earlier. First game of the season, you got so much going on. You know, you cannot, and I've talked about this before, being involved in football and stuff, baseball as long as I have and everything, there's no way you can practice game speed. There's nothing like it. You cannot emulate what's going on at practice as fast as kids will move in the game, because you got all kind of stuff going on. And then not only that, I mean, how many times at football practice, if you're out there, if I'm a linebacker and I'm playing against my own guys at practice and I'm looking and I see how they break the huddle and come out and set up, about probably 7 times out of 10, I know what plays coming just by what they're lining up to run. When you're out here, it slows you down defensively, because when you come out, you're going, okay, what are they doing? What are they doing? Now, as the game progresses and you see the set as they break the huddle and come out, and you've seen it before, then you say, okay, all right, number 3's probably going to get it, because probably in the previous series, they ran this exact same set, and they handed off, they faked and then handed off to number 3, and I'm going to be there and make the tackle. So as you go on, the game gets a little, the game actually slows down for you. You get faster because you start reacting to the football rather than having your eyes going everywhere, having to watch it.
Trying to figure it out.
And that's, you know, that's where we are. This Cougar football team, we talked about them prior to. I've been out there to see them at practice and watch things. We knew we had a good football team. We knew we had a good bunch coming back, because we graduated some very good players last year. Sure, but we've replaced them, and not only that, a lot of the younger kids that were on the field last year for the Cougars, a lot of 10th graders on the field last year for the Cougars. Those kids are growing up. They're coming up, and they're growing up with the program. And, you know, that's the big thing at the high school level, is you've got to learn as a coach to develop your younger kids, because they replace the ones that you use every year at graduation time, and the Cougars have been able to do that. And they had a good bunch coming in that were stepping up from being juniors that are now seniors. They had some great 10th graders that are now juniors. And so now something else that you got to watch for too is you're going to have some 10th graders, and we do tonight. We've got some 10th graders on the field tonight for the Cougars that are getting valuable playing time that they're going to, so you just keep filling up.
Well, that's right. Coach Fountain does a good job of that. I mean, in some of the games and where they get a pretty good lead, even in the second quarter and the third quarter last year, he would play lots of those 9th and 10th graders.
Exactly.
And now, not so much in games like this, because they are playing the number 1 team in the state, but he still finds ways to get them in and get them experience. And you're right also about the defense. Now, they've got 19 points, but really we're getting good penetration from the defensive line now. And we had them a couple of times in the backfield on blitzes, and they just ran right past him, you know. So lost containment, as you said, let him get past his outside shoulder and things like that. But really, they're getting good penetration, and most of their big gains and their yardage was from broken plays.
There's nothing that happened.
Good passes.
Exactly. There's nothing that has happened in this first half, with the score being 19-13, nothing that has happened in the first half that can't be fixed.
Right.
And I guarantee you right now, they're sitting defensively and offensively. The coaches are around them, and they're talking about things right now that they're going to come back in the second half and they're going to fix. I guarantee you, when we come out in the second half, you're going to see a better Cougar football team than what showed up in the first half, because they're going to be, okay, this is what we did. This coaches, that's their job. They sit over here. You're an observation guy during games. You can't coach during a ball game. You observe what's going on the field. And then you go in at halftime and you make those corrections and you say, okay, guys, this is what I saw and this is what we're going to fix. And when you do that, that's what makes you a better football team.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Cougars are doing a good job. They're coming back out. They're getting ready to stretch, and we're going to get underway again here as we continue moving forward. I want to thank you folks who are listening. You know, this has been a little different for us this year, and we're excited about it. I mean, it's a lot to be excited about. The radio broadcast is going out. You know, last year we did radio, covered every single Cougar game all the way through to the state championship game at Crampton Bowl in Montgomery. We're going to do the same thing this year, and this year we're coupling the radio broadcast with Facebook Live and also with YouTube. So we're going out there, so if you're watching the game, then you get to hear the radio broadcast. You know, something else that does for us as the radio station and everything is that gives us an opportunity for these advertisers that are paying for us to be here and cover these ball games. It gets them some great exposure in other places that they wouldn't normally be, because, you know, if you're going out over Facebook Live or you're going out over YouTube, then anywhere somebody's got the YouTube app or the Facebook app, then you can pick up Cougar football, and you can also listen and hear the advertisement that's going out. I'm just going to say this. We're looking for additional sponsors for Cougar football and would love to have your business on board. Your business can be picked up wherever somebody's got that YouTube app or Facebook app, and they can also hear it on the radio right there in Atmore.
Or anywhere in the country.
Right, on WBZR. I mean, wherever somebody's got that app, your ad can get out there and be listened to by a potential customer. And that's what radio is all about. That's what we try to do is, radio is an advertising-based medium. The only way the radio station makes money is we sell airtime on the radio to advertise your business. And so that's what we want to do for you. By all means, you can hit me up. I'm on Facebook or whatever, or just get a hold to me. I don't mind throwing my phone number out there. It's 251-294-2953. You can call me at that number, 251-294-2953. If you've got a business that potentially you would like to get on and advertise with us here on the radio station, and also get it out there amongst folks on YouTube and on Facebook Live, give me a call, write that number down. I'll get up with you. We'll do it. I promise you, for what you're getting, it's extremely cost effective. Okay, I'm not going to blurt it out and put it out there, but I will tell you, if you'll just call me and let me talk to you, you will see that we make it easy for you to broadcast these games, for your sponsorship to go on board, and it's extremely, for what you're getting, it's cost effective for your business, and we'd like for you to be a part of it.
And in the advertising world, radio still reaches more people than any other medium, so.
Well, you got kind of a captured audience. You know what I mean? I mean, people riding in their car and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's people out riding, listening to Cougar football tonight that are listening on the radio. And there's folks sitting around. You could be at another game. You may be following the Blue Devils of Escambia County High School. You may be following the Blackshear Bulldogs. You may be following Flomaton, the Hurricanes. You know, our sister station, WPFL in Flomaton, they cover the Flomaton game. Well, wherever you are, you can not only be tuning into that game, but you can be tuning into this one as well. And that's what is really exciting about this medium that we're approaching now with what we're doing, is there's so many more opportunities for you to market your business, and you can do it by basically spending the same dollar amount. You know, we're not charging you extra for the other stuff you're getting. You're getting a good deal. Call me and let's talk about it, and we'll get you on board. As we move toward, we got about 2 minutes left here in the halftime, and we're going to take, Joe, we'll take about a 2-minute break and then come back, and they'll be ready to kick this thing off. You're listening to Escambia Academy Cougar football. It's halftime. The score is Pike Liberal Arts 19, Escambia Academy 13. You're listening to Cougar football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore, on Facebook Live, and on YouTube.
Good evening. This is Greg Albritton, your state senator. It's great to be back under the lights of Friday night football. It's been a long time since I was a player under these same lights, but I haven't forgotten the hard work, determination, and teamwork it takes to finish the game with a victory. As your senator, I use these same principles in Montgomery as we compete with other areas of the state for the resources we need. It is my job to see that Escambia County comes out a winner.
Atmore Auto Parts, located at 105 North 2nd Avenue in Atmore, is your local Napa dealer. specializing in automotive parts, farm and agricultural parts, ATV and heavy-duty parts, marine and hydraulic hoses. Atmore Auto Parts is open Monday through Friday from 7 to 5 and on Saturdays 7 to 12. No one knows parts better than the folks at Atmore Auto Parts. So for your next project, call Atmore Auto Parts at 251-368-2148.
Here's some good policy from your local agent and Auto Owners Insurance. When your insurance policy comes from us, it comes with something extra, a real person. Don't buy from an insurance company with an 800 number and a voicemail menu. Auto Owners Insurance operates exclusively through local independent agencies here to help you 24/7. Now that's good policy.
We use Larry White Insurance Agency at 430 Palafox Street in Farmington or call 296-2471. Why buy at Johnson Ford? We put our customers' wants and needs first. We respect your time and offer a stress-free approach to selling cars. This is reflected in our winning Ford President's Award 5 years consecutively. From sales to service, we do everything we can to achieve the highest level of customer service. We are proud to be the premier Ford dealership in this area. We invite you to come by and see us at 1828 South Main Street in Atmore. To experience the no-hack, best price, worst way of doing business, stop by and see Jim Johnson and the staff or give them a call, 251-368-2135.
And welcome back as we get started to kick this thing back off and get going here in the second half. Cougars trailing in the ball game by a score of 19-13. Cougars, the number 3 ranked AISA school in the state of Alabama, according to the Alabama Sportswriters Association, up against the number 1 ranked team, Pike Liberal Arts, and the Cougars only trailing by 6 points. So just like we talked about earlier, Rick, you know, those extra points, they come in handy in the long run, so the Cougars are actually up 1 extra point right now, even though they're trailing in the ball game.
Yeah, they're just 1 touchdown and a point after from the lead.
And that's a good place to be. Cougars are going to meet up right there at the 50-yard line, and they're going to talk about things, and it looks like Coach Mike Sims in the middle as he's giving instructions to the Cougars before they go out. They're going to receive the kickoff here as we get started for this second half. All the Cougars, as they gather as a team, you can see them on the video as we are live with video on Facebook Live and also on YouTube. And we're glad to have you folks joining us on the audio version of the program on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore. Cougars are actually, the referees are giving folks a little extra time here. It looks like the white hat, the head referee's got the head coaches out at midfield, and they're talking about what they got going on. Actually, the only one I see out there
Coach Fountain.
is Coach Fountain.
Yeah.
So they were just having a conversation, and as a matter of fact, as you know, Coach Fountain used to coach here at Charles Henderson High School in Troy, Alabama, and so I wouldn't doubt, because this is the first game of the year, Coach Fountain and the white hat probably just getting caught up because they probably know each other.
Or he could have been offering him some Ben Gay for his elbow.
Well, okay. Could have been doing that, but I doubt it. Cougars are going to receive the football, and you said that is north, so they're going to be defending the north end zone.
I know you trust my navigation. So.
Well, I've been with you times before where you were the only navigation I had. Actually, you know, we needed to be able to get out of spots, and you've always gotten me out. I will say that, you know, and especially the times that we're in the motorboat trying to find crappie on the river. You've been able to get me back to the landing. You hadn't left me out there anywhere yet.
Even if it was interesting a few times.
Well, it has been that. I remember one time in particular when I'm actually out of the boat on the log and look, and there's eyeballs peeping up at me, and I'm going, I want back in the boat. Anyway, here we go. Starting of the second half, 12 minutes on the clock. We're starting the third quarter. Cougars going to get the football first. And there's a little pooch kick going to be handled by an upbend by the Cougars. He's got it, going to move upfield, and is going to be drugged down as he crosses the 35-yard line. Doesn't quite make it all the way out to the 40, but the Cougars with good field position, as rather than kick the ball deep right there to either Sims or to Nettles, Pike Lib learned something from the first half, and they said, we're just going to kick it to a guy that's not quite as fast.
But it is really good field position to start, so see what they can do with it.
Good field position for the Cougars. First down and 10 as we get started here in the the third quarter.
Okay, here it comes.
From the I formation, that looked like a face mask, but no flag. No, they're celebrating, but the ball is going to be placed down. It's going to be Cougar football, as several referees did signal. I don't know why the Pike Lib players were bouncing around, but they were bouncing around like they had recovered a fumble, but I believe the ball came out after contact with the ground.
Yeah, it did.
I formation. There's going to hand off. They're going to go right up the middle. There's Bubba Nettles. He's on his feet, going to still on his feet. And crosses the 50 down to the 45 and all the way down to about the 46-yard line. And so the Cougars come out, and just like we said, making those adjustments at halftime, the Cougars saw something.
They saw something. That's that same play, 2 plays in a row.
And they said, hey, we think we can come out and just run it right at them, and that's what they're doing. First down and 10 for the Cougars. Ball inside Patriot territory is going to be spotted down at the 41-yard line of Pike Lib. Once again, I formation. This is old school football right here. And a penalty flag is going to be a delay of game against the Cougars. Everybody saw the 25-second clock.
Yeah, the coaches are getting plenty of help from the stands.
Yep, everybody saw it but the folks that needed to see it. So that's going to be a first down still, but a first down and 15 for the Cougars. Ball backed out to the 46-yard line. Ball right in front of us here.
There you go.
I formation. There's a little toss sweep going to be to Bubba Nettles. Bubba's fighting for yardage. Going to cross the line of scrimmage.
I think he's going to get about 2 yards on that one, maybe.
Does look like a gain of 2, so that's going to be a second down now. Second down and 13. Remaining in the I. Handoff is going to be to Nettles again. He's fighting for yardage, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and I believe he did.
Yeah, I think he picked up 4 or 5 yards there. They definitely saw something. They have made an adjustment at halftime here. Number one, they switched offensive formations, going with a straight I.
So third down now. The ball spotted at the 40-yard line, actually across the 40 at about the 41. Cougars remaining with the I formation.
Right.
But now they stack receivers out here to the left right in front of us.
Got to call the play.
There's the snap. Going to be a spot pass out here to number 22. Nice move, but he's going to get tackled and finally knocked out of bounds. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. So the spot pass there, that's what we used to call that a spot back in the day. The only thing that I didn't see right there was the way we ran ours, and I used to love it because I was the guard to this side, as I got to pull and try to. And so the Cougars with a chance here on fourth down. Let's see what they got going on, as it looks like a timeout was called. I don't see a penalty flag, but maybe a timeout taken by Pike.
Yeah.
So it does look like an injury over there to the far side, and that may have be what kind of drew the timeout. They have not corrected the scoreboard here into the second half. They still have each team with one timeout remaining, but that's not the case. 8:45 to go here in the third quarter. Cougars with the football. They've taken the second half kickoff and driven the ball to where they are now, which is inside the 40 down to about the 48-yard line, 47-yard line. And the offense is staying on the field. This is one of those where you are on the field right here, you really can't punt it, and it's definitely too far for a field goal. I guess you could kind of pooch it and try to, and if I remember correctly, there was a time or two last year that the Cougars would line up what looked like in the shotgun with Landon Sims, and he would just punt it, just pooch kick it.
Little quick kick.
It's going to be fourth down and about 7 yards to go for the Cougars. Wide receivers split wide to the right side. It's going to be a slot. There's the snap. Landon Sims rolling to his right, looking for a man downfield. He's going to throw. He overthrows his man, and that's going to fall incomplete. And that means that the ball will be turned over on downs as Pike Lib will get the stop. So Pike Lib will get the football for the first time here in the second half as they lead in the ball game by a score of 19-13.
Just barely overthrew him.
So Cougars will send the defense back out there. It'll be 1st and 10, Patriots. The ball at their own 38-yard line. Patriots break the huddle. They got slots to both sides. Single setback in the backfield. Quarterback Renfro's looking. He's going to clap. There's the snap. Handoff is going to be to the back. Good defense there by the Cougars.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about in the first half. They really settled down. They're getting good penetration and have good gap coverage. There's not much room to run between the tackles.
Number 5 is down, an injury for Pike Lib. Number 50, Hunter Smith, a senior, was on the tackle. And I'm not sure what the injury is. Looks like a lower leg, a lower extremity injury of some sort. They're looking at what appears to be the right knee of the back that is on the ground. So the Cougars take a knee. Pike Lib does not, as the Cougars are going to let the injury be taken care of. Medical staff, coaching staff out to look at the running back for Pike Lib, and here comes the water girls. They're going to bring the water out. Don't want to see any kind of injury to any player, and we certainly hope that this is not serious. But it does appear just from what we got that it may actually be, well, no, they're getting him up, so it could have been just a cramp. Early first game of the year, and I tell you one thing, you can say what you want to. If you've never had a calf cramp in the middle of the night or wherever you are, that thing will make you, it'll make you make an ugly face.
And just in case you don't know this, what's one of the best cures for cramps?
Pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
And how long have you known me? I'm the champion of drinking pickle juice.
So am I.
Even before I knew it was good for cramps, I just like it.
Yeah.
Good old deal pickle juice. I used to get on. I remember your Aunt Brenda used to get on to me all the time when we were growing up.
All the pickles.
Yep. That boy can eat some pickles. Anyway, 8:13 and 8:12 now to go in the game, or in the third quarter. I'm sorry. There's the snap.
There's the blitz.
There's the blitz coming. Oh, they got to get him, and they do.
Yeah.
Good job by the Cougars on defense.
They almost had him several times, and they had some big gains on broken plays because of that, but they got him that time.
So that play loses yardage, so Pike Lib is backing up Looks like it's now going to be 3rd down and about 15 yards to go. Ball spotted inside the 35, all the way back at the 32-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
So certainly a throwing down here as the clock continues to run, 7:29 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Renfro, the quarterback, there's the clap, there's the snap. Looking downfield, got a man, he's going to be hit immediately. Oh! Almost picked off far side as the Cougars do an excellent job there on defense. They come up and get the stop, and now it's going to be 4th down and 15, and Pike Lib's going to have to punt the ball to the Cougars. So the defense doing a lot better job here for the Cougars coming out in the second half, just like we said they would, because they made those adjustments at halftime, and they've gotten better as this game is going on.
They were getting some penetration in the second half and in the first half, but they were overrunning the play a little bit, overrunning the backs and the quarterback, and they were getting it on broken plays.
There's the snap. Snap is good. Get away from the football.
We're both saying that.
That's right. I mean, there's no need. You know, if you're able to catch the ball and make a play, that's one thing. But you don't want to, in traffic, be coming up because you're looking up. And if you're moving, the ball's also moving. So you got to be careful. 1st down and 10 for the Cougars. 7:08 remaining here in the 3rd quarter as we continue to play. 19-13 the score. Pike Lib is leading, but the Cougars get the ball back on offense. Cougars did a good job when they came out to take the second half kickoff, and they ran out of the I formation. Let's see if they stay with that look.
Nope.
Actually, they're going back to the shotgun. They've got a slot set to the right side, tight end to the left. Oh, he drops the football but then picks it up. Good job there of just holding on to it. It's going to be a cramp. And that's what we talked about. This is conditioning right here. And
I believe that's the same young man.
And it very well may be. I believe it was number 5. Yeah, they need to get him out because I'm going to promise you, until they get him hydrated, he's not going to get any better. I mean, he's every play that he has to exert himself, just like on that one, he's going to end up, and the problem that you come into, he's not going to be able to go full speed. That's a chance you're going to get the kid hurt.
Yeah.
6:53 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Cougars trailing in the ball game by a score of 19-13. Let's take a break, go back to the station, and then we'll come back. We'll take a 1-minute break. You're listening to Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore, and also on Facebook Live and on YouTube.
Diamond Gasoline stations with locations all over South Alabama and Northwest Florida wish all the local teams in the area good luck this football season. Thank you for making Diamond Gasoline your choice for quality fuels and convenience items. Diamond Gasoline is proud to support this broadcast and be a part of the community. And remember, fill your tank and save your green at Diamond Gasoline. Whether selling or buying homes, lots, land, or commercial property in both Alabama and Florida, you need to see the fine folks at Southern Real Estate. Debbie Rowell, owner and broker, and agent David Dobson are ready to assist you with any real estate needs. Located at 800 East Nashville Avenue in Atmore and at southernrealestate.org on the web, they are just a phone call away at 251-368-4397. Choosing the right realtor makes all of the difference. See Southern Real Estate.
And welcome back. 6:53 to go 3rd quarter. Cougars with the football. They're looking at a 2nd down and about 14 yards to go. Man in motion. Sims back to throw, looking down the field. Got a man open, and it's going to be a touchdown. As Malachi Haynes, number 1, goes all the way down, is going to catch the pass, take it into the end zone for the score. Cougars are going to lead.
And get this, no penalty flag.
Yeah, actually it's going to be a tie score. 6 plus 13 equals 19, and that means both teams have the same score. That's a mathematical equation.
Miss Long would be proud of you.
That's right. So 19-19 the score, 6:43 remaining in the third quarter as the Cougars do a good job there. Finding Malachi Haynes does Landon Sims for the long score and the touchdown. Cougars tie the game up by a score of 19-19. Cougars going for two. Direct snap to Bubba Nettles, number 11, as Bubba fights for yardage and makes a spin move right at the goal line and gets in. So a 2-point conversion for the Cougars, and the Cougars lead in the ballgame now by a score of 21-19. Great call on the third down call there that hit Malachi Haynes on the long pass play for the touchdown. And then a great call there on the 2-point conversion. I really expected the Cougars to just kick the extra point. Yeah. But they did a good job there, and that's the reason I'm up here and the coaches are down there, is because they make better decisions than I do. But the Cougars take the lead, and they lead by a score of 21-19. And that was really a good drive for the Cougars and really exciting, because I'm going to tell you something, Rick, what this game is going to come down to, we've already seen it. This is going to be a conditioning game. As you see, the Cougars have not had a kid come off the field.
You said that earlier. You were talking about going and watching some of their practices and how they would stay after practice on their own and try and get in good shape, and we have not seen a cramp on them.
I had an opportunity a couple of weeks ago to go down and talk to some of the Cougars and interview them. They had a little media day program there at the school one morning, and I got a chance to go and talk to them. And I sat down and I said, "What's the big deal with summer? What have y'all been doing all summer?" And basically they looked at me and said, "We've run." And so they said that this was the toughest summer that they've had in the history that they've played football at Escambia Academy, and you can tell right now that it's paying off.
Ooh.
There's a big hit at the end of that play as the football is caught and brought out across to near the 25-yard line. There's a kid stretching right there for, that looks like another number. That's going to be number 3. So number 3, let's keep an eye on him as well, because it looks like that he may be cramping.
I think so.
Either in the calves or back there in around the hamstring area. Yeah. That looked like a hamstring stretch that he was doing right there.
I've noticed several of them trying to stretch it out, but maybe they don't know the pickle juice secret.
And we're not going to tell them at this point. Quarterback back to pass, got a man open. Good defense there.
By number 22 there.
Perfectly timed contact. That's number 22 on the coverage. That's going to be Devin Kelly. Devin Kelly's a 10th grader. So you love to see that, because that's one of those that we talked about earlier. Those are the ones that are going to grow up with your program.
Yeah, he played it perfect, picked up his man in his zone and broke up the pass. Excellent.
So 2nd down and 10, ball spotted at about the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 10 as Pike Lib, the Patriots, break the huddle. They've got a slot to the left-hand side and a slot to the right. Single setback with the quarterback, Renfro. He's in the backfield. Here goes a man in motion. There's going to be a handoff. No, Renfro keeps it. Here he comes, coming near side, and is finally going to be knocked out of bounds, hit right at the sideline.
He's right at the first down marker.
Yep, there were a lot of people yelling, but Renfro was still in bounds when he got hit.
Oh, definitely.
But I tell you, he's a little hobbled as he goes back to the huddle. And I'm not so sure that maybe he is, because he's ran the ball so much in the ball game that itself may be cramps.
Yeah, he's been overstretching his hamstrings right now too.
This is
striking the difference between the two teams. You don't see any of EA's players.
That's exactly right. It's all about being in shape, especially here early in the year. There's the snap. There's going to be a little toss sweep ball on the ground.
Oh, EA's got it, I believe.
Let's see who they give the football to.
EA.
Yep. Cougars with the football.
Excellent defense.
So a perfectly played toss sweep to the left end. The ball ends up getting dropped on the ground, and a Cougar defender is able to take it away from the running back, and the Cougars with the football. 6:03 remaining in the third quarter. Cougars with the lead by a score of 21-19, and now with the football. First down and 10, the ball spotted at the 30.
And a swap in the possessions.
That's exactly right.
So
now the Cougars,
they can get a lead that they can hold on to.
That's right. They're a position. They're now a possession ahead.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. I'm glad you figured it out.
Well, I figured it out, but I didn't spit it out very well. But I knew what I wanted to say. I just didn't say it good. 5:48. The clock's still running as on that play, the handoff was to number 11, Jadaniel Nettles, Bubba Nettles. And he loses his footing going up into the middle. Play actually loses about 1.5 yards. We'll call it a short 12, second down and 12 for the Cougars. There's the snap. Landon Sims with the football. He's got some room. That's a touchdown. They're not going to catch him. He's gone. Touchdown, Cougars. You could see that thing open up. It was just unbelievable the way it opened, and it was all because they were keying on the back, and they let Landon Sims, they just lost of where he was, and he pulled it out and went the distance for the Cougars.
As we said earlier, if you don't keep up with him, it's at your own peril, because that boy can fly.
So with 5:10 to go here in the third quarter, Cougars score again, and they've got the lead 27-19. So an 8-point Cougars lead right now, and it looks like they're going to kick the point after touchdown. They're going to line up and kick, and number 2, Landon Sims, he will do the kicking duties. Everybody kind of standing around, getting ready for the snap. Now the ball's set. There's the snap. Snap is placed down. Kick is up. Kick is good. That's the prettiest one of the night.
Yep.
And it's through the uprights as the Cougars will now lead 28-19. 28-19 to score. 5:10 left in the third quarter. We'll take a break and come back. You're listening to Escambia Academy Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore. Also on Facebook Live and on YouTube.
Juniper Creek Lumber, located in Uri, Alabama, is your place to call for all your custom-cut lumber needs. Whatever your project, Juniper Creek Lumber can cut lumber to your specifications, width, thickness, or length. You can check out the website at www.junipercreeklumber.com, find and like us on Facebook, or call Greg Fralick at 251-254-0414 or Cooper Dean at 251-362-8100. That's Juniper Creek Lumber in Uri, Alabama, for all your custom-cut lumber needs.
Here's some good policy from your local independent agent and Auto Owners Insurance. When you insure your home and car with us, you receive a multi-policy discount. And when you add Auto Owners Life Insurance, you get a special discount on your home and car insurance. Auto Owners Insurance will save you money on all of the insurance you already have. Now that's good policy. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem.
See the Larry White Insurance Agency at 430 Palafox Street in Fullerton, or call 296-2471.
And welcome back as we continue in the third quarter of play here in Troy, Alabama, at the Delaney Curvin Stadium on campus here at Pike Liberal Arts School in Troy. Cougars with the football, or with the lead, 28-19. So they have a 9-point lead here in the ballgame, about halfway in the middle of the third quarter. Cougars coming out after making halftime adjustments, and they're doing a good job both offensively and on defense. Cougar defense on the field. They're looking at trips to the left-hand side. Quarterback going to get flushed out of the pocket, but he's going to be drugged down. And a good play there by number 78. Let me get back to my roster, because I got so much stuff going on here, and I'm trying to find everybody, and I want to get names mentioned. And 78, Kanye Hooks. And I remember him. I remember Kanye from baseball. Kanye was a baseball player. Also a very good football player, as we just saw, as he gets his name called on the radio and gets it called over the intercom because he made a good play on defense there for the Cougars.
He sure did.
2nd down and 6. Handoff is going to be to number 14, and he's going to find tough going as he gets smoked.
I tell you, they've got the containment problem fixed too, it appears. So.
And I tell you who that was. Actually, that looked like number 10. Was that J.J. Stevens on the tackle?
I believe it was.
I believe J.J. came up and said, hello, let me introduce you to my little friend. And it was his helmet. So Cougars doing a good job there on defense again. 3rd down and 8. Now as the Pike Lib breaks the huddle, and they see something that they don't like, and I believe they're going to take a timeout.
They did, yep.
They're taking a timeout. We'll stay here because I want to talk about these advertisers once again that we've got with us. You know, and I heard the ad earlier, you know, that we had done for Juniper Creek Lumber, and I want to tell you a little bit about Juniper Creek Lumber. Juniper Creek Lumber is in Uriah, Alabama, and they've also got a sawmill that they run down in Bluntstown, Florida. So it's kind of they work some down in Bluntstown, they work up in Uriah, they cut lumber. They cut lumber to your needs. So if you've got a building project that you want to do or something like that, all you got to do is get on the phone. You call Greg Fralick, and I'll give you the number for Greg. Greg's number is 251-254-0414, or you can call Cooper Dean at 251-368-8100, and you just give them what you want. You say, hey, I got this going on, and I need 2 of 4s, or I need 2 of 6s, and I need them 10 foot long, and I need 30 of them. Well, they go out to the sawmill, and they cut the lumber for you to your specifications.
There's no odd sizes to them.
That's right.
You go to some of the bigger stores and stuff, you have to take what they have.
That's right. And here's the thing, too, is they will cut it to the specifications that and it's just cut like you see them at the store. There's Renfro. He's going to run up the middle. He's got running room. He's still on his feet. He's going to get enough for the 1st down.
He is slippery.
So he makes his run all the way across the 50 into Cougar territory. But getting back to what we were talking about our sponsor is if you need lumber, give them a call. They'll cut it to your specification. It's Juniper Creek Lumber. You can find them on Facebook. You can call one of the numbers that I've given you, and they'll certainly take care of your custom cut lumber needs. And they're right there close to the house. There's the snap. Handoff is going to be to number 3 around left end as he's going to battle for yardage. Going to gain a few. So a gain of about 5 yards on the carry, maybe 6. Looks like a short 6, 2nd down and 4. And the Cougars defense need a stop. Been playing a lot better on defense here in the second half, have the Cougars. But really what has lit the scoreboard up has been the offense. There's the quarterback keeper. He's going to make it around the end. He's got running room, and he's going to score.
Oh, he stepped out. Nobody saw it.
Yeah, that's going to be a good run there by the quarterback as he broke containment. And there again, we talked about that, about having to keep the quarterback or any back that's coming to your end. You got to keep him contained. You need to keep your outside shoulder free and keep a shoulder away from him so that he's unable to run by you. But the Cougars fail to do that, and they give up a touchdown. But still, Cougars with the lead. Right now the score is 28-25 Escambia Academy with 2:23 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Pike Lib is going to kick the extra point, and boy, that's irritating to a coach when they run the point after team out there and one guy's missing. There's the kick. It's going to be up and looks like it's going to be good. And so with the point after touchdown, that's going to make the score Escambia Academy 28, Pike Lib 26. 2:23 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a break and come back. We'll take a 1-minute break. You're listening to Escambia Academy Cougar football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore, and also on YouTube and Facebook Live.
This is your state senator, Greg Albrecht. Like many Americans and most of us in Alabama, I love football. There is nothing quite as exciting as a well-played high school football game. I once played in some of those games in this very area on these very same gridiron. I want you to know that I have not forgotten what it takes to get onto the field and go for the win. I always use the same competitive spirit and perseverance in Montgomery so that Escambia County comes out the winner.
Pioneer Sales of East Bruton, Alabama says try our inventory out for mobile homes. Check their skirting prices. They're best around, and they install. They have floor vents, brown and white, 4x8 size, $4.25, 4x10, $4.95. Buy one, get one free. Window screens for mobile homes. They make them to size. They have tubs, doors, windows, faucets, bathrooms, and sinks. Light fixtures, plumbing, AC duct, furnace vanities, cool seal, step, and kitchen sink as well. Just about anything to do with a mobile home, they have it at Pioneer Sales in East Bruton. Give them a call today, 867-8507.
Welcome back as we continue here in the third quarter. Cougars take the kickoff, and if you're watching on video, you saw something a little interesting right there. As an up man for the Cougars makes the catch and is running the ball back, he turns around and laterals the ball to number 11, Jadaniel Nettles. And you got an injury on the field right now, and really that's going to be Landon Sims. Landon Sims is down on the field, but I don't think he's injured. I think that's a cramp. That's the first one.
Cramp. Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be the first one for the Cougars. But it is a key cramp situation because that's your starting quarterback and your safety on defense. He's trying to get up, but I'm gonna tell you, just knowing what those cramps are like is he probably just needs to stay right there because it's
just relax, just sit there and relax and try to get hydrated.
And to be honest with you, in the third quarter of a ball game, the first game of the season, you're not going to get hydrated right now. Now, like we talked about earlier, believe it or not, and this works. If you folks are out there, if you're doubting about the whole pickle juice thing, the pickle juice thing's worked.
Oh, it does.
Now, I don't know whether they've got pickle juice on the sideline or not, but it does work, and it's the salt content is basically what it is. I remember back in the old days, what they would do is they'd give you those salt tablets, and they were nasty.
Yeah, the pickle juice has, the salt, the electrolytes, and zinc in the form of a salt. The zinc helps with the cramps. It's a quicker fix than just trying to drink Gatorade or Pedialyte or something like that.
So anyway, the Cougars will have to do something different here on offense because right now they're missing the starting quarterback who's on the sidelines, and looks like he's okay. He's standing over there, and nobody's really paying him any attention. He's just he's got to be out for one play because he laid down on the ground. So he'll come back, and he'll be fine. Looks like he's getting some liquid in him now. They're going to run we'll call that the Wild Cougar. They run it to number 11, Jadaniel Nettles, as Nettles puts his head down and punishes a guy, number 3, right there, just across the 50 at about the 47-yard line. Not going to be quite enough for a first down. It is going to be 2nd down and 3, a gain of 7.
And Landon's back in the game.
Landon Sims is back on the field, but I'll tell you one thing, he's walking a little gingerly, and there again, he's not injured, but it's hard to recover. Those cramps are tough. Like I said earlier, they'll make you make the ugly face.
Yeah, once you start getting them, you're just going to.
And he's going to run it anyway. And so anyway, with the cramp, maybe he's trying to prove us wrong, and he's moving the pile. That was a good run.
That was. He carried 4 or 5 people.
I couldn't have run that way without a cramp. And Landon that's awesome. Now he's getting up and he's hobbling a little bit, but there again, I think he's hobbling from the cramp. It's not really an injury, but we do have a Pike Lib player down on the ground, and I'm not sure about him, whether it's a cramp or whatever, but the medical staff is out to take a look at him, and the Cougars are going to take a knee. 1:18 remaining here in the third quarter of play. Cougars with the lead by a score of 28-26 against the #1 ranked Class 3A AISA team in the state. Well, actually, the #1 class or the #1 AISA team in the state. Period.
Unlike the AHSAA, they just rank. They don't rank them by divisions.
Right. They just rank you.
There's
the AISA as a whole.
poll.
That's right. But you got #3 playing #1, and right now #1 is trailing. #3 is ahead. And the Cougars would love just to be able to score again right here, leading 28-26. Because here's where your doggone extra points make a big difference. If the Cougars score and get an extra point, even though the other team scores, if they don't go for 2 and get it or kick their extra points or whatever, they've got to score twice in the form of a field goal or touchdown or whatever. It's like we were talking about earlier. It's that extra possession that you get when you're ahead like that. And right now, the Cougars are ahead of possession with the football. We got a little weather that's kind of starting up here, and hopefully it's not going to get any worse than what it is. I hadn't seen anything lightning-wise or anything, but just a little sprinkle of rain.
And a cool breeze
has started. Yeah, there's some rain somewhere. The only problem is, and the player's up on the far side, so he's going to make his way to the sideline. And I believe you're right. I believe, Rick, that what it boils down to is you've ended up with maybe 3 of your starters for Pike Lib that have been toted to the sidelines because of cramps. Well, when you've got 3 starters out with only 11 kids on the field, that means now you're playing with only 8 of your starters, which could be a big deal.
Uh-oh.
Yep. That's going to be a touchdown. Oh, not quite. Good play there. And on the carry for the Cougars, that's going to be #3. And I'm still trying to, I'm looking through trying to find, I've got too many pieces of paper in my hands. Anyway, 1 minute to go. Rick's going to help me out, try to find my roster as I continue to look down. There's going to be a handoff.
That was Christian Crook.
Okay, Christian Crook again. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the reason I can't remember Christian may have been #8 last year.
I think he was.
Was he #8 last year?
Yes,
and
I believe he was.
Okay, so he was. So 3's like an 8, but different. And so that's kind of what threw me off. But #3 is Christian Crook, and he's got fresh legs. His legs are fresher than anybody else's on the field right now. There's Daniel Nettles, handoff, the second man through, battling for yardage. Finally, he's going to be stacked up. But the clock running, still running.
Oh, my goodness.
15 seconds left, and somebody's going to be down, or a penalty flag, actually.
Yep.
Not sure what the penalty was, but this may be one of those things that Coach Hugh Fountain said we needed to try to correct, and I hope it's either offsetting or against them. I don't want to wish nothing bad on anybody, but I hope it's on them.
I'm with you.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, I'm not saying anything ugly.
No, I'm with you. I hope it is on them.
And I'm just saying it's okay. I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm a homer. What we got? We got a personal foul against them. Awesome. Okay, so we like it. All right. Hey, he likes it. Hey, Mikey. Okay, so we got a personal foul against them. That's going to be a half the distance penalty, and that's going to move the ball down inside the 5. Looks like they're going to spot it at about the 2.5-yard line.
Yeah, I think so.
So the Cougars with the football. 3rd down is what they've got it. They're showing 4, but I don't think it's 4 yards. I think it's more like 2. I think it was 4 before the penalty.
Oh, don't run backwards.
That was a he ran. It was kind of a naked bootleg down there that close, and there's too many people stacked in there for you to run that direction. You know, I think it would have been better because he never faked the football.
It's the end of the third quarter.
That is the end of the third quarter. Cougars still with the lead. We're going to take a break and come back with the fourth and final quarter of this ball game. So the Cougars leading by a score of 28-26. The last 12 minutes of this opening football game is going to be on the board when we come back, and the Cougars are knocking on the door. They're going to have a fourth down, but they're going to be right there close, and hopefully are able to get the ball into the end zone. End of the third quarter, the score, Cougars 28, Pike Liberal Arts 26. You're listening to Escambia Academy Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore and on Facebook Live and YouTube.
Good evening. This is Greg Albritton, your state senator. It's great to be back under the lights for Friday night football. It's been a long time since I was a player under these same lights, but I haven't forgotten the hard work, determination, and teamwork it takes to finish the game with a victory. As your senator, I use these same principles in Montgomery as we compete with other areas of the state for the resources we need. It is my job to see that Escambia County comes out a winner.
Atmore Auto Parts, located at 105 North 2nd Avenue in Atmore, is your local Napa dealer, specializing in automotive parts, farm and agricultural parts, ATV and heavy-duty parts, marine and hydraulic hoses. Atmore Auto Parts is open Monday through Friday from 7 to 5 and on Saturdays 7 to 12. No one knows parts better than the folks at Atmore Auto Parts. So for your next project, call Atmore Auto Parts at 251-368-2148.
And welcome back as we get started here. The fourth quarter of the ball game, 12 minutes. The last 12 minutes of the ball game on the board. Cougars with the football. They're facing a fourth down and goal. There's going to be a pass.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Cougars.
That was outstanding.
As Landon Sims is able to find a receiver in the corner of the end zone, throw the ball, and it's in the end zone for a touchdown. So the Cougars are going to add 6 to the 28 points that they have on the board now. That's going to move the score to 34, Cougars 34, Pike Liberal Arts 26. That was an incredible throw, a good, well-conceived play, and run perfectly there by the Cougar offense.
And that's kind of a hard pass to make. Your receiver's running away from you at an angle like that over into that corner. It's easy to overthrow that one.
It is. It's not only easy to overthrow that one. If you underthrow it and a cornerback picks it off, then he's headed the other direction. There's the ball spotted down. Extra point is going to be up and is going to be
bounce
good. So
hit the upright and bounce through.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So the Cougars with a 35-26 lead as we continue to play here on this Friday night, opening Friday night of high school football on WBZR FM 105.9 in Atmore. Glad to have you folks with us. I tell you, we've been excited all night. This is a good, exciting ball game to kick the year off with. And I tell you, I hope if you're able to listen on the radio, you do that. If you're able to catch the video feed, then you're able to do that. That's on Facebook Live and also on YouTube. So we're glad to share the broadcast with you, and you're able to see the game and actually hear everything coming out at you. It's been a lot of fun, and I tell you, this is just a good football game tonight, and we talked about it from the very beginning. I'm telling you, all these newspaper people, I've been looking for things to talk about the last several days. All these newspaper people were talking about how good that bunch over there in red that's playing here in Troy is. Nobody really ever talked that much about this bunch in white. This Cougar team that is visiting here tonight, they're the real deal.
Drove a long way to come up here and at this point have a lead. So, yeah, that Pike team is good. There's no doubt about that.
There's a high end-over-end kick going to be fielded by the back. He's looking to get running room, and he's still on his feet. Somebody's got to make a tackle. And finally, looks like a penalty flag goes flying into the pile.
That's not good.
That flag on the play, I can't see it. Well, there's a There's Christian Crook again. That makes about the 4th time during the ball game he's lost his helmet. And he's going to have to go out, I think. Or I don't know, he may have just pulled it off after the play. It's going to be a 5-yard face mask against the Cougars, so really doesn't do too much damage. Timeout by the Cougars. So 11:43 to go here in the ball game. Cougars with the lead 35-26, so a 9-point Cougar lead. And the Cougars want to talk about it on defense a little bit. And you know what I bet part of the conversation is that's going on in the huddle?
Contain number 2.
Well, containment, yeah, but, you know, we're starting to see these little penalties and see these face mask penalties a lot of times here late in the ball game, especially early in the year like this. What's happening is as kids get tired, okay, they're looking for assistance with making plays. Instead, you know, they may get beat maybe going around the end or something, so you're reaching out and you're grabbing and stuff. Well, what is a better handle to drag somebody down than by the face mask? I mean, your fingers fit in there. You can grip it. It doesn't pull off the helmet. So, I mean,
we both know somebody that knew that better than anybody that I've ever known. And we were joking about that last year. If I see Coach Melvin Middleton, I just turn my head sideways.
That's right. But, yeah, I mean, you know, that face mask, it's not a handle, even though it does, especially when you're tired, it makes making tackles a little easier sometimes. 11:43 to go in the ball game. Cougars with a 9-point lead, 35-26. Pike Liberal Arts with the football. They got slots to both sides. Single setback in the backfield with Renfro, the quarterback. There's the snap. Flags are flying. Let's see what we got. Looked like a line just threw it. I would imagine that what we had is maybe movement in the neutral zone.
Yeah.
So the Cougars jump off sides.
No. It's going against Pike.
Oh, it is. Okay. No, it ain't.
Yeah, he went the wrong way. The referee went the wrong way.
That happens.
Yeah. They're tired. They've worked hard tonight. Blowing whistles, throwing flags.
You know, the thing is that being a referee before, that embarrasses you when it happens. That really does. And see, that guy where he's at in the position right there, that's the umpire position on the field for the.
There's the blitz again.
Yep.
They got him. Nope, they let him go again.
Well, they got him.
Get him though, yeah.
But yeah, that's that umpire position in there, and so that's his job to actually mark off those penalties and things. And boy, it's embarrassing because I know I've probably done that before myself. 11 and a half minutes left to go in the ball game. 35-26 the score. Cougars looking for a stop. 2nd down and 9 after a gain of 1. Pike Lib with they got a slot set to the left side. Looks like a slot to both sides. Single setback, low snap, quarterback looking. Holding, that's going to be a holding call against Pike Lib. Quarterback is sacked. I bet they declined the penalty. Yeah, that's going to be holding against Pike Liberal Arts. That'll be declined because you want them to lose the down, and with the sack, they lose the down. Yep, decline it. Referee's looking over here, the side judge to this side. He's asking the coaching staff, do you want to decline it? And I don't know whether they were, but I was nodding my head up and down. Yeah, that's what we want to do.
Hunter Smith on the sack.
Well, that's a couple of times tonight that we've called Hunter Smith's name. And Cooker's doing a good job on defense. 3rd down now. And about, they're calling it 16. 3rd down and 16, the ball back on the 35-yard line of the Patriots. There's the snap, looking to throw. Got a man out there. He's going to hit the man on the line of scrimmage. It's not going to be enough for a 1st down. A little wide receiver screen to the far side.
4th and long, 4th and 7.
So that's going to bring up a 4th down, 4th and 7, as Rick said. Landon Sims on the stop for the Cougars. Are you in a situation here where you're thinking as Pike Lib that you got to go for it?
Yeah, they are going for it.
Cougars need a play right here. They need a defensive stop. There's the snap. Snap is low. Here's the gonna run out. Good tackle.
Oh,
nice
Bubba
tackle.
Nettles. Oh.
Jadaniel Bubba Nettles comes up and makes the tackle, put his head where it was supposed to go, makes the stop, and that's going to turn the ball over on downs, and the Cougars have the football. 35-26 the score. Cougars with the football, 10-13 remaining in the ball game. You know, when you need them, no, you cannot. I was just going to say, when you need them, your big players make you big plays.
That's right.
And that was a big play by a big player right there. Of course, this defense has just played lights out all night long, but that was a big play when you needed it by one of your leaders. There's Jadaniel Bubba Nettles still on his feet, breaking tackles, and he's gone. See you at the house. Bubba Nettles goes the distance for a touchdown.
Cougars.
So the Cougars are going to light the scoreboard up again, and they've put 40 on the number 1 ranked Class AISA football team in the state. 41-26. And I'm going to tell you, we talked about it from the very start. The difference in this ball game is conditioning.
It is. I mean, we saw one player on EA get cramps so far, and I'm telling you, Pikes, they have half of their team they're stretching right now. You can see them in the end zone trying to stretch their hamstrings.
Well, it's just like, we talked about earlier. If you get 3 starters on defense that end up going to the sideline because they've got cramps, there's the kick. Point after touchdown is going to be up, and it is good. So 42 points now on the board for the Cougars. If you got 3 kids on defense that go out, those are 3 of your starters. That means when your defense goes back out there, you only got 8 starting kids on there. Now, I know you got to play. It's got to be next man up. You got to play with who you got. But at this level of football, when you take those starters out, that could be a pretty good drop in ability.
And this Pike Liberal Arts team, they did lose 5 players off their defense and 5 players off their offense from last year's state championship team. So they returned 6 on each side, but still that hurts some. So to your point, if you've got 3 starters getting cramps and you already had lost a lot from the previous year, it's affecting them. And it doesn't, and that's just my opinion, but it just doesn't seem to be affecting EA as much.
Well, EA is doing a good job on both offense and defense, and something else that we talked about during halftime is one of the big things that they have going for them is their coaching staff did such an incredible job with halftime adjustments.
Yeah.
They came out and did some things totally different. You hadn't even seen them in the first half.
Yeah, and then he went back to his first half offense after going with the straight eye backfield.
So Landon Sims with the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. He's going to kick it off for the Cougars. There's the ball end over end, going to be handled down there deep. And somebody just needs to come up and make a tackle. And finally.
I tell you what, that kid for Pike, he is good at walking that sideline. I wouldn't kick it to him anymore.
Well, he's not that tall. If you look at him, he's really not that tall. I think he kind of gets hid over there. Yeah, he's hard to find, especially along that sideline over there where his red uniform blends in with all the other red uniforms that's over there.
Yeah, I mean, because that's like the 3rd time he's walked right down that sideline like that.
Cougars with the lead, 42-26, 9:56 remaining in the ball game. Pike Liberal Arts with the football. They're going to have the ball 1st down and 10. Nose of the football out there about the 45. So good field position.
Just need to keep up the good defense. The defense has played better in the second half for sure.
Well, they certainly have played better. They've, just like you said earlier, they're not running by tackles now. They're making stops instead of running by tackles and missing tackles.
Right.
Certainly a passing situation for Pike Lib. Looking to throw. There's a man open. Oh, he gets smoked.
He really did get smoked.
You know, the ball's incomplete. That's one of those where you're going to get hit anyway. You might as well go ahead and catch it.
Yeah, that was Landon Sims that laid the lick on him on that one, I think.
Yeah. That was a good play, and that's exactly what that safety's back there to do. You know, he can see everything. He's the last man back on defense, and so everything is kind of unfolding in front of him. And so Landon just comes up and just really lays the lumber right there and knocks the ball loose for an incomplete pass. Second down and 10.
There's the blitz.
Pike Liberal Arts looking to throw, got a man deep, gonna throw it, gonna overthrow it. And I tell you what, his receiver right there, I believe he pulled up. Look at him.
He did, and remember he was able to run under it earlier, but look, now
he's stretching his hamstrings out because he's cramping up.
Yeah.
Just like we talked about, these Cougars, I know they're in shape. I watched them yesterday, particularly kids staying extra, trying to get themselves in shape. The Cougars yesterday did not do just a little walkthrough or whatever. They were getting after it when I saw them. And I mean, when you're in that kind of shape that the day before you're going to dress for the opening ball game of the year against the #1 team in the state, and you're out there practicing the way they did yesterday, these kids are in shape. There's the snap, looking to throw.
Again.
Yep.
Oh, see, they're getting him now.
Yep, that's right.
They're getting him now. 4th down.
So a good job there on defense as the Cougars are now forcing a 4th down. So it's going to be a 4th down and 10. The ball spotted still on the 45-yard line. And the offense is going to stay out there. They got to try to score. Trips to this side, to the near side, to the left. Single setback in the back. There's the snap. Quarterback looking to throw. Got time. He's going to air it up. And the ball's going to be intercepted. There's your safety. There's Landon Sims, and he was back behind everything, and nobody got behind him. He's going to intercept the ball. That's just like a punt, really.
Yeah.
But the Cougars with the football now on offense, and that's what they want, because now they can eat up some clock and eat up some time.
Which is exactly what they need to do. They try to keep the – well, he won't, though. Coach finally he's going to run his offense no matter what.
Well, and but here's the deal. The last couple of plays, you know, the last play that we scored on was a long running play from Bubba Nettles. It's not like they're trying to run the score up. They're just running their offense.
Yeah, that's what he does.
And how many times have you heard coaches say, any of these coaches will tell you that it's not my job to shut down my offense. It's your job to stop us.
Exactly.
So we're just going to do what we do. There's the snap. Bubba Nettles with the football. Bubba's going to bounce outside, shakes the tackle, still on his feet, still battling, still on his feet, and then finally runs into somebody that says hello.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, that was a good tackle. But I tell you one thing, Bubba made a lot of people miss. There's only 11 defenders on the field, and I think 13 people missed him.
And the clock's running.
And that's what you want at this juncture of the game. You just want to run out the clock. 42-26 the score, clock running with 8:21 remaining in the ball game. Escambia Academy, the #3 ranked AISA team in the state of Alabama, playing #1, and right now they're beating #1. Landon Sims, the quarterback, gets down to 2 seconds on the play clock, going to snap the ball, going to hand off. There's a running play coming left. Cougars are just eating up clock. That's all they're doing. That's going to be Bubba Nettles on the carry. There goes #3, Christian Crook, back in the ball game. And just like we talked about before, Christian Crook right now probably has the freshest legs on the field, and he's going to be flanked as they spread 3 receivers out here to the right side.
And we know he can run.
Oh, he can run. Third and 9 for the Cougars. Landon Sims back in the shotgun. Single setback with him. That's going to be Nettles. Handoff is going to be to Bubba. And finally the whistles blow.
That's another 40 seconds off the clock.
That's right, and that's all you're doing right now because you're just wanting to run clock out and continue to play defense. 7:02 and counting here in the fourth quarter in the ball game. Cougars are going to send the punting unit out, and they're going to put the ball off to Pike Liberal Arts. So a 16-point lead now.
Something wrong with
by
the
the
play
Cougars.
Clock. Yeah, there's something wrong with the play clock. There, they fixed it. Yeah.
So they're going to wind it now. 25 seconds. Let's see. Yes, it does start. So it's moving.
He doesn't want to punt it until it gets down close.
That's right, because when he wound the clock, he started everything. So the play clock's running, but also the game clock is running.
Right.
So we'll be about 6:07 when the ball gets punted. 6:09.
Yeah, he shanked it just a little bit. Not a terrible punt.
No, that's okay. I mean, the ball will be right here in front of us as we see. And we're going to take a break and come back. We're halfway through the fourth quarter. 6:05 remaining in the ball game. Cougars with the lead. They're leading in the game by a score of 42-26. We'll come back. You're listening to Escambia Academy Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore and on YouTube and Facebook Live.
Wi-Fi at Johnson Ford. We put our customers' wants and needs first. We respect your time and offer a stress-free approach to selling cars. This is reflected in our winning Ford President's Award 5 years consecutively. From sales to service, we do everything we can to achieve the highest level of customer service. We are proud to be the premier Ford dealership in this area. We invite you to come by and see us at 1828 South Main Street in Atmore to experience the no-hassle, best price, worst way of doing business. Stop by and see Jim Johnson and the staff or give them a call, 251-368-2135. Diamond Gasoline Stations with locations all over South Alabama and Northwest Florida wish all the local teams in the area good luck this football season. Thank you for making Diamond Gasoline your choice for quality fuels and convenience items. Diamond Gasoline is proud to support this broadcast and be a part of the community. And remember, fill your tank and save your green at Diamond Gasoline.
And welcome back. 6:05 to go in the ball game. Pike Liberal Arts with the football, first down and 10. Ball spotted inside the 40 at about the 39-yard line.
Nice play.
Yep, nice play there on defense by the Cougars as they are sniffing it out. And there's a little chippiness going on right now. Pike Liberal Arts does not like the fact right now, some of the players, that they're getting beat by 16 points. And you can tell it after the play is over because things aren't stopping.
Nah.
Now, there is a way to stop that.
I'm not sure where the word chippy come from, but I think it's a little chippy.
Well, yeah, it is chippy, but here's the deal is, you know, we had a conversation yesterday when Unity Baptist Church fed the kids yesterday about attitude. We had a discussion about attitude, and hopefully some of that discussion sunk in. And they won't get chippy back. That's the whole point. It's okay to get chippy sometimes. It's the second guy that gets chippy that gets flagged. Right now, you're up by 16 points. You know, why should you be chippy?
Yeah, they're not. Escambia Academy's not.
I mean, you need to cruise to a victory, and let's get to the house and get ready for next week because you got another big game next week. Yeah. So let's see, is that going to be?
You can go either way.
Okay,
on that one.
Yeah, it's going to be holding against Pike Liberal Arts.
They're declined it.
Okay, yeah, decline it and let's take the down because right now the down is more important than the yardage.
And it's 3rd and 14, so it's 3rd and long.
Single set back in the backfield, slot set to either side. Here comes the man in motion. Looking for the man over the middle. Good play. Nice play right there.
I tell you, Landon Sims has played lights out today. He really has. I mean, he timed that hit just perfect.
So good play on defense there, and like we've said, Rick, you know, things are getting chippy for the boys in red.
That's right.
The boys that are winning the ball game, these Cougars that are dressed in all white, they're just calm, cool, and collected. They're going through the motions of winning a football game, and that's the difference in, you know, that's the difference in this year's team so far that I've seen. And, you know, last year the team may have gotten a little chippy back.
Yeah.
But this kid, true. Calm, cool, and collected right here. They're just going through the process of winning a football game. 5:13 remaining in the ball game. Cougars leading 42-26. There's the snap. Quarterback fades back, looking over the middle. Got a man. Oh, it's going to almost picked off.
Oh,
good
Bubba
defense
Nettles
again.
Almost picked it off, but they got the ball on downs anyhow.
So the Cougars are going to take over the football. And the Cougars are going to take a timeout, and we'll take a timeout with them. Cougars with the football when we come back. 5:08 remaining in the ball game. The Cougars lead in the game by a score of 42-26. You're listening to Escambia Academy Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore, or you may be watching on Facebook Live or YouTube.
This is your state senator, Greg Albrecht. Like many Americans and most of us in Alabama, I love football. There is nothing quite as exciting as a well-played high school football game. I once played in some of those games in this very area on the very same gridiron. I want you to know that I have not forgotten what it takes to get onto the field and go for the win. I always use the same competitive spirit and perseverance in Montgomery so that Escambia County comes out the winner.
Pioneer Sales of East Bruton, Alabama. Try our inventory out for mobile homes. Check their skirting prices. They're best around, and they install. They have floor vents, brown and white, 4x8 size, $4.25, 4x10, $4.95. Buy one, get one free. Window screens for mobile homes. They make them to size. They have tubs, doors, windows, faucets, bathrooms, and sinks. Light fixtures, plumbing, AC duct, furnace vanities, cool seal, step, and kitchen sinks as well. Just about anything to do with a mobile home, they have it at Pioneer Sales in East Bruton. Give them a call today, 867-8507.
Welcome back as we continue here in the fourth quarter. Cougars with a big lead, 16 points, 42-26. 5:08 remaining here in the ball game. False start is going to be the call against the Cougars. That's okay. It just gives us 5 more yards to work. And that means that we can just burn a little more time off the clock, and that's exactly what, at this juncture, what we want to do. I want to thank all our sponsors tonight for being a part of this broadcast. And like I said, you know, you need to go by and visit these folks and tell them that you heard about their business on the broadcast on WBZR Radio 105.9 FM in Atmore, or you can also tell them that, hey, I heard your ad on Facebook or YouTube. And I don't know whether you folks have checked them out yet. But speaking of Facebook, you can go to a Facebook page because they've got a good one. And they've got models on there, the modeling some of the clothing that they have. But the fine folks at Southern Social Boutique, they got the latest styles that will certainly make you look very trendy and stylish as you step out to go to maybe a football game on a Friday night like we are here. So if you want to be dressed to kill, then join them on Facebook. Check them out. Check out the clothes that they have, and they'll have them at a great price. Not only that, they've got some incredible T-shirts that are in right now. Auburn and Alabama game day T-shirts that they have available in both adult and kid sizes. So join them on Facebook. Check it out, and you'll see all the new arriving merchandise, or you can visit their website at southernsocialboutique.com or come by the store at 101 Main Street in downtown Atmore. You'll love the way you look when the clothes come from Southern Social Boutique. So go see them. They'll be glad to see you, and tell them that you heard about them right here on the EA Cougar football broadcast. Third down and about 6 yards to go. Landon Sims underneath. There's going to be a little option pitch. Number 3, Christian Crook, as he.
I believe he got the first
It
down.
looks like he did get the first down. He's going to be marked awful close.
Did.
Yeah, they pointed him forward. So enough for the first down, and that's what the Cougars need to do. They're just trying to run this clock down. 3:23 and counting here in the football contest.
Run a little bit, just a little bit more off. That was a hard run by Christian Crook.
It was a hard run, and that's some more of that old school football. I tell you, I'm loving it. You know, I mean, offense, wide open offense is fun to watch because you get to see the ball sail all over the field. But when teams strap it up and they tighten that chin strap just a little bit and they run out of the eye or out of the split backfield like they're doing right now, I mean, that's just putting it down and saying, you know what, we're coming right at you. You got to stop us. And the Cougars are really manning up right here and showing who the big dog is.
They've got them laced up tight, strapped down. I mean, they're just showing them who the boss is right now.
That's right. Cougars doing a great job tonight. We got another big game next week. Of course, Glenwood will be going to Glenwood, and that's the number 2 ranked
in Phoenix City
AISA team in the state. So you knock off number 1, and, well, guess what? Number 2's waiting. There's going to be the handoff, going to be to Jadaniel Bubba Nettles. Bubba spinning, trying to gain yardage, still does. He's going to move the down marker a little bit ahead, maybe a gain of about another yard and a half. Looks like they give him a little more than that, maybe 2. 3rd down and 4. Clock continuing to run with 1:50 to go in the ball game. So a big win here for the Cougars tonight. You know, we talked about it, and I told you on the way up here, I can't remember what mile marker we were at when I said it, but I told you that I've read a lot of good stuff about Pike.
You did say
but
that.
I really thought that the Cougars would come out of this thing victorious because I've seen them. It's a good football team.
Can I sing the song now?
You can. You're going to date. Nobody's going to know who you're talking about, but people our age. But yeah, I mean,
Dandy Don Meredith.
Dandy Don
Turn
Meredith.
out the lights. The party's over.
That's exactly right. The old Monday Night Football days. It would be Dandy Don, and it would be Howard Cosell, and
Alex Karras.
Alex Karras, yeah, he would be
Joe
one of them.
Namath for a little while too.
Inside a minute.
He did the right thing.
That's right. Just kind of fell down. Christian Crook.
That'll do it right there. They might have to run one more play.
Yeah, it's going to be a first down for Escambia Academy, and looks like folks from
to run one more play.
Pike Liberal Arts, they're kind of gathering up their toys and going to the house. They say, if y'all, if that's the way y'all want to play, I'm going to take my ball and go home. You wait till my brother gets here, and he'll show you. Well, brother ain't showing up tonight.
No. This is a big win for
it's an awesome win. You know, this tells you where you are as a football team, and the Cougars are going to take a knee and run the clock out.
Good job, EA.
So inside 12 seconds to go as the clock is going to run out. The Cougar faithful are standing up on the near sideline, and they're celebrating the victory, and the Cougars are going to win. We're down to 3, 2, 1. Double zeros on the clock, and that's going to do it. Your final score, the Escambia Academy Cougars 42, and they've already taken the score down. It was 42-26, and the folks at Pike Lib said, we're not leaving that up there.
They really
so
didn't.
they wiped it off. It's nothing.
Well, go ahead and announce it one more time. What was the score?
The final score was Escambia Academy Cougars 42, the Pike Liberal Arts Patriots 26. Let's take one more break, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap this broadcast up as we continue. You've been listening to Cougar Football on WBZR 105.9 FM in Atmore, and on the feed, the video feed, on Facebook Live and YouTube.
Good evening. This is Greg Albritton, your state senator. It's great to be back under the lights of Friday night football.
We'll make this quick.
It's been a long time since I was a player under these same lights, but I haven't forgotten the hard work, determination, and teamwork it takes to finish the game with a victory. As your senator, I use these same principles in Montgomery as we compete with other areas of the state for the resources we need. It is my job to see that Escambia County comes out a winner.
Atmore Auto Parts, located at 105 North 2nd Avenue in Atmore, is your local Napa dealer, specializing in automotive parts, farm and agricultural parts, ATV and heavy-duty parts, marine and hydraulic hoses. Atmore Auto Parts is open Monday through Friday from 7 to 5 and on Saturdays 7 to 12. No one knows parts better than the folks at Atmore Auto Parts. So for your next project, call Atmore Auto Parts at 251-368-2148.
And welcome back, Rick. We got to wrap things up from the broadcast here. I tell you, it's been awesome. This was a great ball game from the very beginning. We talked about it on the way up here, and we really thought that this Cougar football team was something special. And ranked number 3 in the state. I mean, you got to be good to be ranked number 3. Pike Liberal Arts, they're a very good football team.
They are.
Too.
I mean, they were a very good football team, and it was a touch and go till about midway through the third quarter. And I think you pointed out that the cramps started getting to them some, but EA made some good adjustments and came out with some different plays, and they really kind of pushed Pike around a little bit in the second half.
They did, and like I say, this was purely, you could tell it. I mean, this was a conditioning game. If these two teams faced each other the last game of the year, I think it would have been probably, I don't know about the same outcome, maybe the same outcome, but I think it would have been a better played game, especially on behalf of Pike, because you would have had say a 10 or if it would have been 4 or 5 games in, you got better conditioning. Yeah. This team, Pike, meaning this team, the Pike team, they just weren't in shape tonight. They're going to get better. They're still a good football team, and just like they did last year, if you remember, they won the Class 3A state championship last year after losing early to Glenwood. Well, later on in the year, they made adjustments. They got in better shape. They did things that they needed to do, and they ended up beating the team that beat them in the state championship game and won a championship.
We don't have to worry about playing them again.
That's true. Don't have to worry about them
after
again.
After watching this game, and if I had a vote, it would if you're ranked number 3 and you're 2A and you beat the number 1 team by 16 points in 3A, you should be ranked number 1.
Well, and that'll remain to be seen. Those rankings will come out again about Tuesday, and we'll check them out. So it could be updated rankings when we go to Glenwood next week. That's going to do it for us from Troy, Alabama tonight. We will be joining you next week at around 6:30, about the same time, airtime again, and we'll be coming to you live on the radio here at WBZR 105.9 FM. You can also catch the video feed on Facebook Live and on YouTube. So that's coming up next week. We'll see you from Phoenix City, as it'll be these Escambia Academy Cougars victorious tonight by a score of 42-26 over Pike Lib. We will see you next week and talk to you next week from Phoenix City, Alabama against Glenwood. So join us next week as we continue to cover it. Love it. We'll be here all year long with you. So join us, and we'll be bringing you the game each and every Friday night, hopefully all the way through the end of the year, and a state championship coming back to Atmore for the Escambia Academy Cougars. For my partner Rick Burkett and for Tim Dorr, who did a great job with the video. Tim, he's an awesome guy, and he did a great job getting us up and running and on the air. Thank you for being a part of the broadcast, and we'll sit here and talk to you next week right here on WBZR and on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Good night, everybody.
And you've been listening to Escambia Academy Football here on WBZR 105.9 FM. We now return to our regularly scheduled broadcast.
Country girl, shake it for me, girl. Shake it for me, girl. Shake it for me. Country girl, shake it for me, girl. Shake it for me.